Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Two Fans in the Stands. I am your favorite armchair GM, CJ.
And I am your favorite couch scout extraordinaire, Tony. Y'all know what time it is. Come on, one time.
What's good, cuz?
Cuz,
How you feeling today?
man, hey, it's my favorite part of the year. Pads are popping. You feel me?
I hear
The
you.
pads are
I hear
popping.
you.
That means football is not only right around the corner, it's right down the street. Just a little walk down the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? Just going like you going to the corner store. You feel me? We're almost
I
there,
hear you.
player. How you
I
feeling,
hear you.
dog?
Hey, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Feeling good. I I've had the last week off. I went back to work today, and when I tell you when that alarm went off this morning, I was so sad. So sad. Not no, not I love my job. My job is cool. Ain't got no problem with the job. But I've had so much fun this past week. 4 days of
Right.
training camp. Went to Jacksonville over the weekend. Saw our friend renew their vows after 20 years of marriage. That was great.
Oh, that's
I've
what's
had a
up.
ball. That alarm clock went off this morning. I knew I had to get my black ass up and go to work. I was like, ugh. Hey, my wife said, "Yeah." She said, "I saw the difference." She said, "You were a little
Yeah,
different this morning." I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah, I was struggling. I was struggling." Hey, but I do want to ask everybody out there in the chat that's listening so far. I know last time we had some audio issues, so is everything synced up this time? Doesn't look like we out here going blah 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 and then talking. So just let us know. All right. But
All right.
because hey man, training camp. Okay, we've officially had a week of training camp. Okay, we've had 5 practices. All right, we had the first two on Wednesday and Thursday, back together Saturday, and then we had these two on Monday and Tuesday. Okay,
Hey.
what's going
I,
on?
I I don't mean to cut you off. I know you super excited, but what welcome my guests in. Well,
Hmm?
usual. What welcome my guests in. The first time here, welcome. That whole spiel. I was waiting
Oh,
for that whole
I
spiel.
ain't forgot it. I ain't
Oh,
forgot it.
okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
was gonna get to it. I was gonna get to it. I was gonna let the masses trickle in. Yeah, I got you. I
yeah.
appreciate you though. I appreciate you though, cuz. I appreciate you though.
Nah,
But yeah,
go
man,
ahead, man.
we've had a week of football. 5 practices. Let me see, 4 without the pads, one with pads on. That one with the pads on was yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Tony, I've been, at all the practices except one, and I will let you go first. What have you seen, and heard that has interested you, or or made you scratch your head, so far?
Um, Not really too much I heard that interests me. I just wanted to see, and also wanted to hear about the differences of camp this year as opposed to last year. Um, the communication between the players, especially Bryce and his wide receivers, and then the communication between Bryce and Dave Canales, even though he's going to be the head coach, he's also the offensive coordinator. And I also wanted to
Mm-hmm.
see what his footwork was going to look like under Dave Canales. I know that was a big topic of discussion of this off season, especially amongst a lot of Carolina Panther fans. So that's one thing I was looking for. I'm not there with you this year, so I'm living vicariously through you and the other content creators out there. So um, one of the things that I've noticed in some of the clips that have been shown is a little difference in his footwork, especially his drop back. It's not the classic drop back like he had last year when he was at the University of Alabama. I see him going back to a more traditional or going to a more traditional drop back, the emphasis getting the ball out of his hand in 2.7 seconds or less. You kind of see that if it's not there within 2.7 seconds, scrambling, trying to make something work. So I know you guys have
Mm-hmm.
met as well. My biggest disappointment, and I'm glad you brought it up. Hey man, the Panthers releasing Sam Pinckney. Okay, that's my biggest disappointment
Ah,
thus far. Training camp. I'm a big fan of Sam Pinckney. You know how I feel about the underdogs. Okay, so
yeah.
I just feel like, man, he wasn't given the a fair opportunity to show what he got. It's a difference in doing things in just t-shirts
Mm-hmm.
and t-shirts and shorts and a helmet. I'd rather have seen him get the opportunity at least in the first preseason game, to see what he can do against
Mm-hmm.
other NFL competition, stuff like that. But yeah, I was sad to hear that our man Sam Pinckney was released. But hey, Sam, if you're out there, man, trust and believe wherever you go, my boy, I'm a follow because I'm a fan. So I don't want you
Mm.
or your father to think, just bandwagon fans because you signed with Carolina. I like your game, you know what I'm saying? So I understand that Dave Canales and the Panthers, they want to continue to upgrade the bottom of the roster. So I can't get mad at them for that because you always trying to better your roster. I just think that they could have went and chose another player from another position. But the log jam at
Mm,
wide
okay.
receiver, I get it too. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, I see a comment. Doug said he was hurt, that he couldn't stay healthy through 1 week. That's the first I heard about him being hurt. Um, so
Yeah.
I don't know, but I will say this: it was funny though because the second day I went to camp, I got some tickets, and shout out to for Panthers fans only podcast JJ and all them guys over there. They gave me and my daughter a couple tickets to join them over there in the VIP. And it was funny because Sam walked by, and it's crazy because you can tell the guys who really don't think, I guess anybody wants their autograph because they walk by and they just keep on walking. Like they don't even look
Right.
over, no nothing. And so he was walking past, and I said, "Hey," I said, "Mr. Pinckney," and he looked and he was like, "Hey," I said, "Man, can I get your autograph?" And he said, "Yeah." And I told him, I said, "Hey, man," I said, "We rooting for you." I said, "Your dad is in our chat sometimes talking with us, on our podcast." I said, "So, I said, we rooting for you." I said, "I hope you go out there and have a good camp." And I'll be damned, the next day they cut him. So, like I said, I don't know if he was hurt or not, but hey, we are rooting for you, Sam. I don't know if you listen. I don't know if your dad is listening, but hey, wherever you go, we rooting for you, big dog. All right.
Yeah.
And
And
let
Clayton
me
and
let me go
Clayton
ahead
is
and
and Clayton Isbell Jr. too as well. Because his father was
mhm.
also in the chat
Yes, he was.
periodically. So Clayton, if you listen to me, I hope you land on your feet as well.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. So let me get the comments here. Nine Dime all the time. What's going on? How you doing?
What's
Look,
up, Nine
our buddy
Dime?
Doug, Uncle Jerome, and Uncle Bernie Mac. Where y'all at? It's time. Oh my God. Okay,
I
so
don't
I
know
know
why he
I'm
want
I
to
know I'm
start.
Jerome. I
I
know
don't know
I'm
why he want
Jerome.
to
So you
start.
you you gotta be Uncle Bernie.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
cool.
Okay. All right. Now I'm sorry, Tony. That's funny. That's funny. Mr. Hunky Dory said lots of rumor floating around. We need the scoop. Okay. Let me see. I said talk to us, Mr. Hunky Dory. What you hearing? Let me see. Nick Tri-State. Hey, what's good, Nick? How you doing,
What's up,
buddy?
Nick?
All right. Mr. Hunky Dory says Simmons might be coming according to Tampa Bay ESPN Sports radio station or radio today. Oh, okay.
Justin Simmons?
Now I'm
Hey.
hoping he's saying Justin Simmons.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
okay.
Hold. Let's pause right there. Cause me and you
Mm,
just had this conversation last night when we was talking on the phone about the safety position, with Sam
mm-hmm,
Franklin breaking his foot, but you still got um Jordan Fuller and Xavier Woods that are presumed to be the starters, and then behind them you have Nick Scott and Alex Cook as your backup. So if you brought in
mm-hmm.
someone like Justin Simmons, what you gonna do with him? Is you gonna so reason why I say that because we seen last year how um I forgot his name just that quick. That's
Von
crazy.
Bell.
Not Von Bell, our boy, 21.
Oh, Jeremy
Uh
Chin.
Jeremy Chin. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So we're seeing
Mm-hmm.
how little Jeremy Chin was used last year, and we didn't even like really use that hybrid linebacker slash
Mm-hmm.
safety position like a Cam Chancellor. Like we
Yeah.
thought that Jeremy Chin would fit that mold, like Cam Chancellor 2.0. So playing the Joker position. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. But so
You
when you
good.
bring someone in like Justin Simmons, okay, who in that starter rotation are you looking to replace?
Hey, but you know what? Let's hold off on that one because I got a slide sort of dedicated to our secondary, and we'll bring him back up when we get to that. Let's hold off on that and let's discuss it.
Okay.
Okay. I dropped the link. We'll get some more folks in here. We'll discuss that. Let me get through some more of these comments. SC Pace 4, what's up? How you doing, big dog?
ST, what's up?
Let me see. Miss Hunky Dory said, hell, I don't know myself, just a fan. Just Zoe. What's
Mr.
good,
Hunky
fella? How you
Dory.
doing, Zoe?
What up, Zoe?
Hey, look, hey, the vacation over alarm is the worst. Yes, it is. It is the absolute worst.
Yes, it's
Making
the
true
devil,
money.
matter
What's
of fact.
good, partner? How you doing, man? How you
MCM, what's
doing?
happening?
Hey, still looking forward to whenever you start your podcast, man. Hey, get up with us. Let us know. We will be on there. If you need us, we got you. Give us a holler. All right. Let me see. Let me
Now he
see.
he
Rock
out he out here
Jones.
making guest appearances and stuff.
Hey, hey, look, whenever he get his own stuff, hey, hey, hit us up. We'll be glad. We'll be glad
No
to be
doubt.
on your show if you let us on. Put it that way.
No doubt.
Rock Jones said, "What's good, cousin? Ready for this team to make a major step forward this year? You and us both. Yes, yes, yes,
What's
yes."
up, Rock?
Antonio
What's up,
McClanahan,
Antonio?
what's going on? How you doing? Hey, like, subscribe, and share the stream, please. Yes, you know what? That's a good segue,
Yes.
Antonio. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're watching us on X, okay, make sure you give us a follow. And let me go ahead and pause right now and thank everybody over on X or Twix, as we like to call it. That's a mixture of Twitter and X. Thank you, everybody,
Yes.
for the love and support. We started off Monday morning with 294 followers. And when I say I've been burning my phone up, taking videos, posting them, trying to get some good clips, for everybody to see from training camp. We up to 460 right now. So we had a goal that we started last week of trying to get to 500 followers, and we're like 40 followers away. So, hey, thank
Yeah.
you. We appreciate everybody. If you're seeing this or not, or if you're watching this on replay,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't, please hit us up on Twitter at 2fansITS, and you can catch us on all other social media at 2fans in the stands. But make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, follow, all that good stuff. We greatly appreciate the love and support, y'all. Greatly
No
appreciate
doubt. No doubt. Greatly
you. All
appreciate it.
right, let me see. Rock Jones said it's okay. Tone said Cam just scored another TD with the Gamecocks. Hey, let me tell you. Hey, Cam Newton is balling on NCAA 25 with South Carolina because I get the notifications every time he go live. He's on there. He on there doing his thing. He on there doing his
Yeah.
thing. Making True Money said, I heard Devin Tompkins been doing good. New wide receiver kick return. Hey, I will say one thing. That little dude is quick. He is quick and he is shifty. So I can't lie. I haven't seen too many um clips of him. I got a couple clips of them doing the punt return, but it was Blackshear and Smith Marset. And I do think he did have a nice return, but I missed it because I was trying to post the previous clip I recorded on Twitter. So, that's been my downfall. Sometimes I get one
Right.
really good clip and I go straight to Twitter to post it, and then I miss another really good one that happened the next play. So, forgive me. Let me see. This Hunky Dory said, I still say mandatory camp is too short. They need an extra week. They already sliced one preseason game. People need time to be
Facts.
properly evaluated. Facts. Yep.
Facts. I
Facts.
agree with you there, Mr.
Yep.
Hunkador.
Mhm. Oh, and our next comment, let me say here a special shout out to Mr. Bradley Champion. Okay, so yesterday, we saw him last Thursday, chopped it up and hit us up on email and offered us, 2 tickets to the VIP side for yesterday. So, I told him, I asked my neighbor. My neighbor's a Giants fan, Mr. Evans. He's been on here in the chat before. And
Yeah.
so I said, hey, Mr. Evans, you want to go check out camp with me? I said, it's VIP. He was like, He said, what time are you leaving? I said, about 7:45. He said, oh, hell. He said, you know what? Screw it. I'll go with you. So we had a ball, had a good time, chopped it up with Bradley. We saw Ricky Raines. Dunk was out there. Who else?
Right.
JJ from for Panthers fans only. Rashad from PNP was out there. Bryson from Panthers on tap. So we had a lot of fun. I met Ben from Keep Purring Podcast. Met him last Thursday we went out there too. So a lot of good people. But again, Bradley, hey, thank you for those tickets. Greatly appreciate you. Good talking to you. And like I told you when we was out there, when you decide to get your stuff up and running, holler at me. I got you, whatever you need. But I appreciate you. All right.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Bradley.
Panther Dog said, "What's up, gents? How you doing?"
PD.
Hey, Doug said he can't play corner though. We need corners. Hey, look, we gonna get into that too in a minute, Doug. We gonna get into that too
Who?
in a
Who you
minute.
talking about? Who
Yep.
Doug talking about?
Justin Simmons.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Justin Simmons. Yeah.
Yep. Dom 34. What's going on, big dog? How you doing? He said, shout out panel in the chat
Dom?
room. Yes, appreciate you. Smash the like and subscribe. Yes, please.
Facts.
All right. Let me see. Okay, Bradley again. Yes, got you, Bradley. It's good seeing you too, big dog. Let me see. Making sure much said, man, my YouTube channel been tripping, but I got y'all, and I'm sorry. Hey, you ain't got nothing to be sorry for, dog. Hey, get your
Hey,
stuff
no
together,
apologies
get it
needed,
right,
dog.
and we got you. We got you. Dom said, facts. Rock Jones, our Carolina Panthers should be making forward progress this season. We can only go up from here. Now I'm not trying to be
Facts.
Debbie Downer, but technically we could go back. Technically, but we're not gonna do that. We gonna go forward,
There he
Dom.
go. There
There
he
I go.
go.
There I go. Let me see. In year two, Bryce Air is improved. Then year three, which is not here, has to be more. Hey, facts. Let me see. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share the live. Yes.
We
Hey,
already said that,
hey,
Doug.
it's all good. Hey, Bradley, yeah, we
Nah,
we we did enjoy,
I'm
and
just
yeah,
messing
and like
with
I said,
Doug, man.
when you get your stuff straight, give me a holler. Gotcha. All right, let me drop the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up here and kick it with two of your favorite stands on up in the two of your favorite fans up in the stands. Damn, I messed that up big time.
Like, what was that?
My bad. My bad. Hey, look, Panther Dog said Tompkins giving ISM a run for his money. They're similar players, and he probably much cheaper. You know what? He might be. He might
Mm.
be. He might be. So
What
we don't know.
when you think about it, I mean that might be true, but didn't Carolina just resign ISM to a 1 year contract? Now I
They
know it's
did.
only a 1 year contract, but you just gave him some money. So I don't know how much of it was guaranteed or whatnot, but if it was guaranteed, you definitely want to see your return on investment. That's a ROI, you know? So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
It's it's
Don't don't don't
it's
don't
it's
bring
it's
smile.
wild.
Don't bring Smiley up. Yeah, he doing something back there. Yeah,
Oh
but
no, it's all good. Cause I'm glad you said something. Hey, welcome, Doug. What's going on, partner? How you
Hey,
doing, player?
you know what I told you I was watching earlier today, CJ, right? Since
Uh-huh.
Tony want to be on my bad side, call me Dola from the shy. So I'm gonna set you up. I'm gonna put you to work and then cut you off at the knees when I need to.
Okay. All
oh,
right. Got you.
or you gonna
Okay.
be that type of cat? Okay, okay. That's no problem. No problem, my guy. I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, and we got another guest with us. Popping. What's
Oh,
going Oh, hold on. You know what? Wait a minute. Let me get my hold on. I got my scene messed up here.
We can hear you,
Yeah,
Papa.
hold on, Pop. We hear you. Hold on. Yeah, I'm over here messing up real quick. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay. There we go. For whatever reason, it wouldn't let me switch it over to studio mode here. And I got to get Doug back in here too. Okay, there we go. All right. We good, man. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Popping, what's popping?
Chilling,
Hey
chilling,
man, chilling,
man.
man.
Hey, like Poppin said, chilling, man. It's just another day, quiet day, another day closer to Friday.
Okay.
Already.
Hey, well, you know what? While we got y'all out here, Doug, you go first, and then Poppin, give us y'all impressions of camp so far.
Um, First shout out to David Temper. I think everybody thought it was just going to be a mess of a setup. I think I said this earlier. He really had 7 days, well, 7 weeks to get this kind of sorted together. I think in the beginning it was a lot of cons, but I think people are liking it and enjoying the setup. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something new. I know FanFest is Thursday, but right now, with pads being on, I know it's been a lot of, you know, Bryce isn't doing this, or we really can't see what the offensive line can, where the offensive line is looking. One thing I will say is the good thing about it is the offense won day one in my books. And you want that because with Dave Canales being a new coach, Evero having to step up with his coaching staff and players, our defense set the tone on day one. One thing I will say, and I hope I'm not taking Tony's point because I know he's going to bring it up, is Bryce footwork looks phenomenal. Phenomenal. You can tell it from night and day what he's basically has shown, where we even talked about in the training camp preview. Will Bryce footwork translate over to training camp? And it has. Um, I do like the way that they're setting up the pass scale, meaning that they've been doing short, they've been doing intermediate, and then they've been throwing a long ball here and there, just not throwing bombs every single play. So I actually like how they're basically intimating, stretching the field. Defensive side, Kayvon Chasing has really surprised me. I am shout out like CJ said to the content creators. I do love how I'm seeing DJ Johnson coming back. Hopefully, we'll see more here on tomorrow at FanFest. But so far, right now, I'm still even keel. I'm not gonna have the heartbeat go up or just sky through the roof. But right now, I'm enjoying exactly what I need to see right now.
Okay. Poppin.
Okay.
Yeah. It was definitely a difference. It's something in the air. I don't know what it is. There's something in the air. I guess I would say it's more refreshing. It was totally
Mm-hmm.
different than last year's camp. I definitely seen guys being more competitive. That's what I really took away from the camp. Guys were really trying to show why they're trying to make the team or why they're on the team. Because last year,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Frank Reich was trying to do. It didn't look organized. I didn't see any type of intensity, and it was different this year. This year, they actually everybody came to play. Guys that we had our eyes on um, made us think a little bit different. Maybe they finally found their shadow because they trying to show up. So yeah, that's what I took away from the camp.
Okay.
Okay.
Bet. All right, and hold on. We also got our good friend Tip Drill Will is in the
Tip drill
building, man. How you
wheel.
doing, sir? Can you hear us? I think you're on mute. Okay. Well, we'll wait for him here in a second. All right. But
All
I
right.
wanted to bring this screen up right here for our depth chart so far. Okay. Now this is just a depth chart that I got off of our lads, so it's not completely accurate. I think some of the players will be switched around here pretty soon, but some subtractions that we have so far. David Davis got cut. As we said, Sam Pinckney got cut. Christian Duffy was cut. Clayton Isbell. Popo Amave, that's another one I was really rooting for. He got hurt first day of camp, got carted off,
Yeah.
and got cut the next day. And Rashad Penny, who was supposed to be when healthy, the best running back in the league. His words, not mine. Okay. So he retired.
Thanks.
He
Yeah.
he he, he
Abruptly.
retired.
Mhm. And
So yeah, yeah, he
no,
he
no,
retired, and
no,
now
no.
So
go
what,
ahead,
Pop?
Pop.
I don't want to. I'm not trying to throw no dirt on Sam Pickney, but this. maybe last year I could see him possibly be able to make the team. It's too much competition in that wide receiver room. It's too much competition, and he
It's
just
a
he
lot.
just wasn't gonna cut it this year. Yeah, he
Hmm.
had a chance
And,
last year if
and
we would have got him last year.
yeah. And we feel you. We feel you. We just wish he would have made it to at least the first preseason game to be able to showcase what he can do, to a national audience against NFL competition that's not his own teammates in practice, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that-
you're right though. It's a hell of a lot of competition.
Hey,
no,
CJ,
you
go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead, Doug.
No,
No, go
Tony.
ahead, Doug.
Tony, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Papa. No, he right, but the only thing that I didn't like about it was you dropped the wide receiver to bring in another receiver, and then you cut another play, and then you brought in another receiver. I know the young man Tompkins had familiarity with Dave Canales and his system in Tampa Bay last year,
Mhm.
but then they signed another
Mm,
wide receiver, Tavion Robinson. I don't know who he is or where he came from. All I'm saying was because like I said, we big Sam Pinckney fans over here. We just wish that he had the opportunity to showcase his talents at least in the first preseason game. Now after that, if he was cut, then I wouldn't have no qualms about it. But that's my guy. I
yeah,
always root for the underdogs.
Yeah, yeah. I got an underdog
gotcha.
too that I'm pulling for. So, hey.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Hey,
Um,
and shout out to Will, man, with the $5 super chat. We appreciate you as always. He said I dropped something wrong with my audio, so I couldn't hear you guys once joined. Okay. All right. Well, if
Appreciate
if
you,
you
Will.
get to a place, man, you wanna chime back in, man, just hit the link, dog. We'll be waiting for you. And again, we appreciate you. All right. We appreciate you. Okay. So, like I was saying, this is kind of our, you know, not really projected depth chart, but it's a depth chart according to our lads. Like I said, it's probably going to be way different once we get to that first preseason game. We pretty much know we know who the ones will be. Now when it get down to the twos, some of this may be a little different. All right.
hey, CJ,
And
can
yes,
I
sir.
darn, you just pulled it up. I was gonna talk about it. The top one, the
Go ahead.
trends, with Dylan Johnson. Tony, you remember we talked about him when we did our running back prospects. I wanted him to be picked up at the very end. What you got to
Hold, hold, hold up. That is that Dylan Johnson from University of
From
Washington?
Yes,
Washington.
yes.
Yes, it is. Oh, you hadn't heard about that yet.
See
Nah.
that? See that? That's how I wanted to get on that because I knew he was gonna act like this because when we did the
Dang.
running back prospects for the draft for our top 50 visits, we met with him in Washington whenever they had their pro day, and for me, that is a spot where now you have Chuba, Miles, Sheridan. I'm not going to name Mike Boone because Mike Boone's going to be a practice squad member. Jonathan Brooks is probably going to
What up, Clay?
start on on an hour on a short term hour. But Dylan Johnson was a running back that I wanted Carolina to get when I didn't think we were going
Yes.
to draft Jonathan Brooks. If you look at the way that he ran in the SEC, if I'm not mistaken, he came from Mississippi State.
Pac-12.
No, before he
Oh, yeah,
transferred.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He was at
So
Mississippi State.
yeah, so when you look at it, it's more like did we need a running back? Because we could have used a corner like I've been preaching because I love the corner room. But Dylan Johnson, I think he got waived by Tennessee, but I love the pickup
He
by Dylan
did.
Johnson. You will see the type of runner he is. He's a very physical. He's almost can take it to a different gear. He reminds me a lot of a mixture, and I know people are like, he's a mixture of a Jay Stu. He's a big back, but he's not as big as Jay Stu is as in statue and built. But he
Hmm.
can be that power back, but he can also take one to the house if he needs to.
And
Yeah.
that's what I was going to
He
say.
should.
We got
Yeah.
every type of damn running back but a power back.
Yeah.
We got shifty, we got quick, we got running backs to cut, but one thing we did not have was a damn power back at all. At all.
Yeah. If you
Yep.
saw the way he ran the ball, man, in the semifinals of the college football playoff when he got hurt, and then he bounced back and played in the national championship game against Michigan. But
Mhm.
throughout that whole year in the Pac-12, dog, whenever Washington needed that short yardage, that 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1 or whatever. Hey man, they just gave it to Dylan Johnson, man, and 9 times out of 10, he was picking up the extra yardage that you needed. He definitely a power back. Now he doesn't really weigh a whole lot. Like he's not a 230, 235 pound back. But with his height, his size, and his strength, he always falls forward. He runs behind the shoulder pads, and he doesn't mind mixing it up. He loves contact. That was one of the things that I liked about him coming out of University of Washington. I think because of the injury that he had in the championship game, maybe hurt his stock a little bit. And I don't think he ran a good 40 time at the combine. If he ran at the combine at all, I can't quite remember. But
I got
yeah, me and Doug talked about this guy quite a bit and was hoping that he would fall to the Panthers in the late rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
did not
Yeah.
notice
Megan
this
True
one.
Money asked, does anyone know why he went undrafted? So hopefully that sort of answered your question. So, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. But I forgot all about him till I was like, oh, because we had some conversations about him as a late round pick, if I'm
we
not
did.
mistaken, in mock
yeah,
drafts. Yep. Mm-hmm.
yeah, we did.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Popping back up here.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear us, Pop? Okay.
So
There
his
you go.
40, his 40 was a 4.68. So you're correct,
Yeah,
Mm,
Tony.
yeah.
okay. All right. Well, shoot. Well, let's go ahead and so these on the screen. These are the transactions that have happened right before camp started and has as camp has gone on this past week. Okay. All right.
Who
What I
is
wanted to
Tavion
get
Robinson?
to,
I'm sorry. I saw
uh,
his name on
he
the
was
on
the
the thing.
one. He was the one they signed him yesterday, I believe. Yeah, they signed him yesterday, and I think they signed Dylan Johnson today, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. But
Hmm.
yeah, he
Okay.
was a wide receiver. I think he played at Mississippi State and Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But I
Hmm.
think that's who that is. Yep. But I did want to get into a few slides here. So the theme of the day, especially on X, was a lot of people talking about wide receivers. Okay.
Right.
So we have a group here. All right, so let me go down the list. Deontay Johnson, wide receiver 1. Adam Thielen, wide receiver 2. Okay. I'm say Mingo 3, XL4 right now. Yeah, duh. I'm saying Mingo 3, XL4. Okay. Emir Smith Marset right now seems to be, kind of penciled in. All right. So that's 5 wide receivers. A lot of people are going back and forth on Terrace Marshall Jr. and Jalen Coker. Okay. And just like Poppin said, about the different atmosphere, different feeling, like people putting in a lot of effort. Um, TMJ has been out there grabbing, he's been out there making catches. Okay. He's been out there making a lot of good catches. And Jalen Coker, when he's had the opportunity, he has been making good catches too. And he's showing he's a very good route runner. He's been running some crisp routes out there. I saw I think it was JJ for Panthers fans only. And he had the touchdown from Andy Dalton at the back together thing Saturday. And it was funny, a few hours ago, I put on Twitter and I was like, okay, since the theme of the day is wide receivers, I was like, hear us out. Okay, in an alternate timeline, what if ISM is the odd man out and we keep Terrence Marshall Jr. and Jalen Coker? I asked what everybody's thoughts on that was. But I want to get y'all's thoughts. And Papa, we start with you, bro. What's your outlook on the wide receiver room? What do you want to see going in that first preseason game versus New England?
Well, I think I've probably been the only one that said this. It is going to sound kind of wild, but I think we're going to carry 7 wide receivers, and I only think we're going to take only 3 tight ends. Um,
Mm.
uh, I think Jalen Coker will make the practice squad, but he won't make the original 53 just because of experience.
Okay.
Just because of experience. It's not that he got a couple moves with him. I've seen him, up close and personal. He got a couple moves on him, but this is his first time being around this level of competition, and that's the only thing that I can hold against him is experience. But he has the qualities to be a good route runner. And he's not a little guy. He's like 6'3", 215 pounds, something like that. He's not a little guy at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just give him some
Right.
time, and he's actually good at running routes. I seen him cook
He
somebody on the
is.
right side of the end zone, and I was like, "Oh my god, if he's like that."
That was
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson. Wasn't
Mm-hmm.
that Lamar Jackson?
I can't.
One of them Jacksons.
I think
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I think it was Lamar Jackson.
Mhm.
He said one of
Mm-hmm.
them Jacksons.
Bruh,
I
he cooked. He
it's
cooked the
couples,
guy.
two of them.
Now my underdog is ISM. I know everybody else may
Okay.
not like him, but when I watched him, he ain't dropping that one ball. He was getting open, and you actually was able to watch him run routes. So, in the
Yeah.
perfect world for me, I would like them to have 7 wide receivers. They probably roll with 6. I'm still gonna try to bet 7. This Patriots game, uh, I just all I want, man, is people be healthy, bro. Come out healthy. I, I,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care who
I like
wins.
that
Yeah.
topic.
I don't
Yeah.
want the
Mm-hmm.
injury bug no more.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. Facts. Facts. Hey, and you know what? Let me ask y'all this. Make it true, man. I think Jalen Coker makes the 53-man roster if someone gets hurt. Other than that, they'll protect him every week to not get picked up from the practice squad. And that's what I was going to ask. So he signed, his undrafted free agent deal. And I think it's what, 2 years, if I'm not mistaken?
It was
Was it
2
2 years,
years,
y'all?
225,000, 25,000 signing bonus. Yeah.
Okay. Now, with that being said, now if he does say he makes it on the practice squad, he's still in jeopardy from week to week of being picked up by another team, isn't he?
Yes.
Or am I mistaken?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I asked that question. Me and Bing was going back and forth on that because it's not it's highly unusual or it's not as usual to see undrafted free agents get contracts like that. I mean, it's happened throughout the league, but Carolina typically don't do or haven't done signings like that with undrafted free agents. And this year we did it with Jalen Coker and the thicker kicker, Harrison Mevis. Yeah, so
Oh, he
you
finally
know,
said it. I'll be damned.
yeah.
Ah!
It's Lil. It's Lil.
Hey, hey, CJ, and can I
Yes, sir.
piggyback off on what Poppin said with the wide
Yeah, go
receiver?
ahead.
One thing that, and I
Mhm.
could stand this player, Brennan Burson. He would show up in camp every
Every
year,
year.
but when it
Yeah.
came to playing time, wet the bed. When it came to the
Mm,
16 game, we had 16 games when he was with the Panthers, but 16 games. And the reason why I say
Yeah.
that is Tony just made up a point that wasn't going to the point that I'm making. Is it probably the reason why we gave Jalen Coker that contract because we didn't know what TMJ was going to do? TMJ has been having a Brent Burson type of training camp where you need him to have for him to show up. And another player that I laugh at, I know the engagement that we both had was Jonathan Mingo. We bashed Jonathan
mm.
Mingo that day where he lined up against JC Horn, and I said, same Mingo, draft stopped going down. The very next day, Mingo start going up. Literally start shooting
Yeah.
sky up. And the thing for me was, I think was it what's today? Wednesday. I think Monday, the recording came out that Steve Smith was working with Jonathan Mingo all summer long. Nobody knew that. I think that was new news to everybody. And
It shows.
um, thank you. That's exactly where I'm getting at.
Mhm.
So with Poppin making a point of the wide receivers, one thing that I agree with him, I want to see people healthy. But one thing that I say is it's good to go against your own. When you got a different color, you got a different helmet on the other side of the ball of you. Let's see if you're gonna go
Mhm.
full strength or you're gonna go all you have. Because right now, one thing that Dan Morgan said is he wanted to have competition at every position. Right now,
Mhm.
the wide receiver room, there's competition. You can't stack bad days. And that's one thing I think Terrence Marshall's understanding. I have to continue to stack good days. And then when it comes into playing in preseason, I have to do it against another opponent. So
Hey, this comment right here. That comment from
Yeah.
Game Dreamer 58. Hey, appreciate. There are several teams that would gladly snatch up Coker. Yes.
mhm.
Yes. And
Uh,
and and that's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear. I feel like that we are, one move away from continuing this cycle of not keeping the right player, and then they go somewhere else and ball out. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I bring this up. It's like Terrence Marshall Jr., Jalen Coker, ISM. Like I said, I think ISM is probably penciled in. Okay, I think he's safe. But let me
Oh,
get y'all thoughts on Marshall.
hey,
Go ahead,
CJ. I
Doug.
know, I
Damn, my
know.
bad.
Atlanta boy just. Hey, I see Atlanta boy's comment. You know that's my alma mater. So when I read that comment, he's
Mm,
talking about Omar Bayless. That's exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about Omar
mm,
Bayless.
gotcha.
Omar
Yeah.
Bayless
Okay.
holds the record at Arkansas. No, does he hold it still? I think he holds the record. He's second for touchdown yards and everything. What happened with Omar is Omar got hurt during training camp, and you can't have it
Mm,
being an undrafted free agent. He pulled his hammy. He never was able to come
yeah.
back from practice from that. Right now,
Mm,
Omar
Oh,
is currently
okay.
in the CFL. He's in the Canadian League, still trying to work his way back to
oh,
the NFL. So that's exactly the young man
gotcha.
we're talking
Okay.
about is with Omar Bayless. But the question that I
Okay.
was gonna put before you moved on, CJ, is do you think
Mm,
and I forgot who I heard this from. I want to say it was Rashad, but I don't quote me on it. He asked a question. Do you think the Panthers are building TMJ up so much that they can get a fourth or fifth round pick for him and use him as trade value with the way that his stock is going up right now?
you know what? That's a damn good question, Doug. That's a damn good question. I
I
like
got
Yeah.
an answer for that.
TMJ and oh, go ahead, Pop. Go ahead, Pop. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now you go first. You go first. I'm gonna go after you.
Okay. Now I was gonna say that's an interesting question because I was thinking about that earlier. Um, if you're the Panthers, I forgot how much TMJ's contract is this year, but I'm pretty sure it's more than Jalen Coker's. Okay. So, like you said, if he does do good enough, and you do decide to trade him, me personally, if you could get a fourth, fifth, or sixth round pick, and I like Terrence Marshall. I do. I'm pulling for him because I do think he's got the shit end of the deal since he's been in the league. But at the same time, this is a business. Okay, this is a business. You have to make the best move that is right for the business. And if trading TMJ will net you, a fourth, fifth, or sixth round pick. I mean, I think that's something you gotta pull the trigger on that one. And then you still got
Yeah.
Jalen Coker. He's a rookie. Contract is not that much at all. Get him on the roster. See what he can do. But yeah, that was my thought. Go ahead, Pop.
Man, you gonna get two Bowberry biscuits for TMJ. He he
Yeah.
he hasn't. In all fairness to him,
Oh,
all
no.
fairness to him, this he's been in the league for 4 years now.
Facts.
This
Mhm,
has to be the year he shows something, because y'all remember we tried to let him go seek another team and ain't
Do
nobody
the
pick him
trade.
up.
Yep.
Ain't nobody pick him up. So
mm,
just one year prove deal is not gonna get you nothing. So you might as well keep him,
gotcha.
see what he do. Come out here, you can sign him for very cheap. You can sign Deontay for not very high either. Thielen probably be gone,
Mhm,
and then you can move Jalen Coker up another slot. But you're not gonna get anything
okay.
for TMJ.
Okay, I got you. So basically, like you were saying, they keep 7 wide receivers. You go ahead and keep everybody, and then next year, when the chips not really fall with what they made, but you do some moving and shaking, re-signing, and then go
Yeah,
ahead and put Coker on the roster and see what he does.
yeah, because I mean we can't lie to
Hmm.
ourselves. He has an injury history, so we can say TMJ is injury prone to a certain extent. Now last year he looked
Hmm.
like he was you know precious goods on the sideline because they didn't use him. I don't know if he was
Hmm.
still hurt. Frank Wright, I don't know if he went blind or deaf, but he didn't remember the guy was on the roster. He was just sitting on the sideline like, oh, I didn't even know he was out. I didn't even know he was
Facts.
there. He would call a place for Thielen, and
Hmm.
Thielen was on the
And Tim
sideline.
was
Like, how
standing
you
right
come?
beside him. Standing right
Right.
beside
I
him.
mean, how
Hmm.
many wide receivers do we
Yeah.
have? I mean, come on now.
Right.
Uh,
Hey, we got a lot of
so
we got a lot.
right. So like, yeah, he this is a proven deal for him. He wants to get paid. He's not going to cost you a lot of money. And you can still keep
Hmm.
this whole wide receiver core together with Thielen being gone.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, now Bradley got a good question here, y'all. He said, "Could ISM be in trouble with Tompkins' arrival? He has familiarity with the staff and both the speed guys and both the returners." All right. Could that be a camp battle that nobody saw coming that, is here now? What y'all think about
Could
that one?
be. Could be.
I agree.
Could
Okay.
be.
Could be. I mean, you don't know. Again, the way camp goes, I'm just ready for them to see somebody else than blue on. Well, what is it? Black on. No. What color the defense jersey is? Are they white?
White.
White.
Yeah, white on
White.
black.
Defense in white and
Yeah.
offense is in
So
blue.
yeah, I'm just ready for them to see a different color jersey, and then we can really talk about
Yeah.
how this team looks, how the scheme looks. You know,
Right.
even though it's going to
Right.
be a sample size, I hope I'm not taking a point like Trevin Wallace. I told CJ whenever CJ was there,
Mm,
tell me what Trevin Wallace is doing with the opportunity of Shaq being down for two days with the illness. I mean, even though you're not going to have
mm,
starters in, you would know how this scheme is going to look. I mean, if it's going to be vanilla, you can see what players we have going against another particular team next week, and that's what I'm ready for.
yeah. Now, okay, now Trevor Wallace. Now, again, I will say this. The only drawbacks from training camp being in Charlotte this year than where it was in Spartanburg is the view. Okay,
Hmm.
because we're watching it from both end zones. Down in Spartanburg, we're watching it from the sidelines, so we can see everything going left and right. Now, mind you, I've seen Trevor Wallace and them doing like individual drills and stuff, but when it's come to like out there playing, I've only seen like clips, and I forgot who had it online. He did break up a nice pass. I forgot who he was going up against, and they tried to give him the juke move, and he stood still. And when they cut, he went right with him, knocked the pass down. So that's
That
the
was
only
Sheridan.
clip that I've seen of Trevor. Sheridan, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Oh, hey, and Jaden Sheridan. Let me tell you, if nothing else, that Joker is fast. Every time he touched the ball and get a hold of run through, he is out. He's quick. Yeah. But as far as Trevin Wallace, I haven't seen a whole lot, of him. Like I said, I will say I've been focused on trying to get clips of other things. And it also depends on where I'm sitting at. Because the first 2 days in camp, though the first day I was over on the general admittance side, and most of the action was going towards the VIP side. Okay. Then the next day I was over on the VIP side, and then a lot of the action was going the other way. And it seemed like it's kind of it just depends on what they doing, and it's like they're kind of random with it. Now the third day I went to camp, I damn near everything was heading towards the general admission side. So it was I was able to get a lot of clips, and then yesterday, hell, damn near everything was headed towards the VIP side. So maybe they just switching it up day by day. But to answer your question, Doug, I haven't seen much of him personally, but and sometimes it is hard to see and differentiate what player is what, because depending on where they're going and everybody standing behind them waiting to sub in and sub out, it's hard to see numbers. So, but I will say that.
Yeah.
Like I saw one good clip, a clip on him online, and he made a good play on Sheridan, but that's all I've seen of him so far.
That
Yep.
that that that's what they
But
call in the football world patient feet. He has patient feet.
mm,
You talking
okay,
about
Yeah.
Wallace?
gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wallace, you sit there and you know the wide receiver going through his juke moves and all this and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You stay still and patient feet, man. Patient
Yeah,
feet.
he did. He did. He stood right there, and when Sheridan made his move, he reacted and knocked the
Yeah.
pass down. It was a good looking play. Good looking play. But anybody else got any thoughts on the wide receivers before we move on? Because right now, I think this is probably going to be the most contested position group that we have out of everybody.
I think the wide receiver room is definitely going to be one of those rooms where you want to see these guys down to the last preseason game. And the good thing about the
Hmm.
preseason that you're going to see a lot of these undrafted free agents, a lot of these bottom tier players in the wide receiver room really get an opportunity to showcase their talents. Because not only are they playing for the Panthers, they're also putting their resume out there for the 31 other teams. So they got to show and prove no matter who they playing for and who they playing against. This is their one opportunity where they can go out there and put something on tape, and hopefully they stick with the Panthers or they get picked up by somebody else. So you're probably not gonna see a whole lot of Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen.
Mm-hmm.
You already know what you got with those guys. You probably see them
Yeah.
for one series this first preseason game with New England along with the first team offense. But for the rest of the game, you're gonna see a lot of these backups, third string players and some of these undrafted free agent players. That's why I was saying I was hoping Sam Pinkney would have got an opportunity to at least play in one preseason game so he can put something on tape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I feel you.
Hey, did y'all know this? Y'all know Jalen Coker and Popo both got drafted in the UFL draft this year,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
yeah,
you
Yeah.
know what happens with that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
what?
Um. Yeah. Go ahead, because I might be
So
wrong.
so
Go
so
ahead,
if he
though.
gets cut with so let's just say we cut him, he doesn't make the roster.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hmm.
forgot what I think is it's either 2 days or it's a short amount of time after the cut date that if he doesn't get signed, he has to play in the UFL next year. Only way that he can is if he doesn't sign. So if he signs that UFL
Mm-hmm.
contract, only way that
Hmm.
he can
Yeah.
trump it is if he's actually getting signed by the NFL team. So once
Oh,
let's
okay.
just say we
Okay.
cut him, he goes to the UFL. Automatically he's in the UFL right now. But if another team
Mm.
calls, he can drop that contract and join another league team.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Popo, if I'm not mistaken, tore his Achilles. So I don't know how that's going to go with the team that actually signed him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Eternal.
Hey, and shout out to Eternal for the 199 super chat. We appreciate you, brother. He said, "Why we
appreciate it,
sign
Turner.
more running backs, not cornerback or free safety?" You know what? Hey, hold on to that thought. Give us a couple more slides, and we're gonna talk about our secondary. But again, thank you for the $2 super chat. As always, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Turner.
All right. Yeah, let me see. I think Poppin left. So let me back to go back here. Oh
Well, he
no, he's
back.
back. There we go. All right. Okay. So now let's move on from the wide receivers. Talk about the offensive line for a minute. Okay. So, and I want to bring them up because it's been a lot of topic, a lot of discussion. Austin Corbett has moved to center. Okay. He was right guard last year. The 2 years he's been with Carolina, he's been right guard. We had Bradley Bozeman. Bradley Bozeman fit in great, when Steve Wilkes took over in that power run scheme, downhill. You had the hog mollies opening up lanes, running backs was getting yards. That was his thing. Then you bring in Frank Wright, this new kind of zone scheme. Didn't really fit with Bradley Bozeman. We let him go. And to much of our, just confusion, especially me and Tony, we were like, why in God's name did y'all not draft a center in the draft? Because there was about 11,000 of them available in rounds 1 through 7 that you could have picked up. You know what I mean? There were a lot. We passed on a lot of centers and ended up signing one. Andrew Ram. He was an undrafted free agent out of Oklahoma. Okay. So now let me tell you, in my time out there at training camp, the offensive and defensive lines always do the individual drills over on the general admittance side. So a general admission, my bad. So let me see. I've seen Austin Corbett, Brady Christensen, Andrew Ram, and surprisingly, Nash Jensen taking snaps at center. All right. And there
Mm.
was a press conference that Austin Corbett did last week, and he sounded everybody talking about him moving to center because he said that he's always been the emergency center. Okay. And he also said that he played that whole season. Okay. He tore his I think he tore was his ACL, MCL, or whatever it was on that
Oh,
knee, and
yeah.
missed the last half of that that last game. I think it was against Atlanta. And
He
then he
tore both
came
of
back
them.
a
Yeah.
few games in the last yeah, he came back in a few games last season, and then he did whatever to his MCL. And he was like, I was fully healed from the last one. It's not like I missed the whole season. I played the whole season. And he said the last injury he had, the surgery was more of just a cleanup, you know, and he was like, we're good, you know, we're fine. So with me personally, I like what I'm seeing from Robert Hunt. I like what I'm seeing from Damian Lewis. Um, what are y'all thoughts and concerns about our offensive line, if any?
Hold on, guys. Let me go first on this one because I've been kind of chomping at the bit on this whole Austin Corbett situation. It
He
was
did making
funny.
true money.
It was funny when it came out and they asked him the question, and you had a few beat writers talking about, there's a lot of conversation about you having two season ending knee injuries, and you not playing the position. But yeah, that's why I was laughing at before, CJ. You're not playing the position, the center position before, and this and that, yada yada yada. And you could tell he was pretty perturbed. He was kind of ticked off about it. I felt personally attacked because I don't know about
Uh-huh.
anybody else on anybody else's channel or anything like that, but y'all know that I have been a main proponent of talking about the center position ever since
Hmm.
we got rid of Bradley Bozeman, and that was one of the positions that I felt like Carolina needed
What up,
to
Kendall?
address in the draft. The first two picks, I thought it should be center and cornerback, in either order. So my whole thing with Austin Core, like, listen, AC, if you're listening, you're probably not. But if it gets back to you, this
Uh-oh.
is what I want to say. Hey, I'm rooting for you, my guy. You know what I'm saying? I think play admirably at the guard position. But let's just be real here. Regardless of where you've been um taking snaps as an emergency quarter and not an emergency quarterback, but as the emergency center. The fact is,
Hmm.
you haven't played center in a regular season NFL game or in college. You was a 3-year starter at left tackle at Nevada. So listen, I know these guys cross train a lot, especially, the guard and center position, but until you have put in something on tape to give us hope or feel good about the center position. For me, let me just speak for me. I'm gonna feel just the way I feel about it. I still think it's a position of concern, regardless of what you say, or anybody say behind the podium. It's still a concern. So I just want to say, hey, my eyes definitely gonna be on you now. You know what I'm saying? I'm on your ass now, AC. So hopefully you can prove me wrong. I can come on here and I can eat crow, and I say I made a big mistake or whatever, whatnot. But until then, dog, hey, it's still gonna be a position of concern because you have no center position. No center position experience. Brady Christensen doesn't have any center position experience. I don't know anything about Nash Jensen playing the center position. I know he played guard at North Dakota State. So,
Hmm.
the center positions, if we're talking about wanting to see true evaluation and true progress from Bryce Young, and how it's important for him to be able to step up in the pocket. We've seen how the center position has been a weakness, not only just for Bryce Young in his first year, but even the year before that when we had Darnold and Baker Mayfield and things like that. Like, there was always getting pressure up the middle. So yeah, it's my fault, because CJ did correct it a couple times and say, you had two knee injuries in a calendar year. So okay, that's cool. But I tell the fans that they should just pump their brakes, about it because you good. I don't think that's enough. Why? Let me say this: it's not enough to sway me. You know what I'm saying? And I have
Hmm.
been the biggest proponent about the center position, and it's gonna stay that way until I'm proven otherwise. So y'all go ahead and have the floor. I just wanted to get that off.
God damn, Pastor Brian in the building, boy. I swear, boy.
Yeah,
He was on
yeah.
one,
I ain't
wasn't he?
ducking. I'm not ducking no
Hey,
smoke
but
in 2024. Anybody can get it.
hey, hey, but you know what? MDJ, make a good comment right here. He said, I think we question his ability to stay healthy more than anything. On the field, he has been
Yeah.
solid. I think he's skillful enough, but that health is a concern. And that is
Yes.
complete
Facts.
facts. That is exactly how I feel because I did get a clip of him, a very clear clip. He hiked the ball, and I think it was a screenplay out to the left. I forgot who they threw it to, but Austin Corbett took off down the field. He was running fine, and I'm wondering, if if him maybe being a little bit more mobile, than Bradley Bozeman was. I think that might be a fair assessment. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but I think he's probably a little bit more mobile than Bozeman. Maybe is why they decided to go with him. But at the same time, like we said, there were a lot of centers in this draft. We could have got one later on in the draft. And I mean, in no disrespect to Michael Barrett, there were still centers left
Yeah.
in the seventh round we could have picked up. But
Yeah.
I'm just an armchair GM sitting in my shed, hey, doing my podcast. So you know
Hey,
what I
but
mean?
here
Hey,
here's the thing. He's going to get tested real early. Like I don't, you're going to see
rightfully so.
in the joint practices against the Jets, you're going to see him going against someone like Quentin Williams. Okay, and then in the regular
Uh-huh.
season, I think it was um game 4 when we played the Giants. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
see what it's about when he going up
Dexter
against
Lawrence.
big Dexter Lawrence. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
all this talk, people can talk and say what they want to say. You expect them to be positive and say good things from the podium. You want to see him exude confidence. I get it. Don't get me wrong. But like MDJ said, and this is something that me and CJ been talking about for the longest, is if you didn't have the knee injuries, it wouldn't be that big of a concern to me. But for the fact that you're coming off those two knee injuries, whether in the calendar year or, two season ending surgeries, however you want to have it, we can't act like those aren't um pause for concern.
There.
Now he tried to
Yeah.
downplay the MCL and say, "Oh, it was just a minor procedure, just to clean up this and that, that's and that." But it set his ass down for the remaining 5 games last year. Okay, when he came
This
back,
is true.
he looked kind of rusty in those 4 games that he did play, and then they shut him down. So you can say one thing, but the tape shows another. That's all I'm saying.
All right. All right. Okay. Pastor Brian in the building. Give you a hand clap of praise. Hey, look, thank you to Will Robinson for the $2 super chat. He said, say it with your chest. Hey, appreciate you, Will.
Appreciate you, Will.
Appreciate you. Hey, Doug Poppin, what are y'all thoughts on the O line?
Well, I'm gonna make it short, man. I'm tired of AC talking. Shut up. Just shut up, man. All this crying you doing, and stop asking me if I'm okay. You right, you got the perfect name, emergency. Because that's what you been on
Yeah.
the emergency bed. Talking about I've been the backup center.
Emergency
You
man.
right. Because you ain't been the starter. You right. You been
Yeah.
backup, you been
Uh-huh.
emergency this, emergency that. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
man. We have a right to
Yeah.
question you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
absolutely
we
Exactly.
right.
sure do. We sure
Exactly,
do.
Pop.
Sure do.
So
Hey,
so
hold on
Exactly.
real quick, y'all.
good.
Hold on real quick. Hey, Mr. Hunky Dory said, CJ said, your best ability is your availability. Thank you for the $2
That's
super
right.
chat, Mr. Hunky Dory. We
That's
appreciate you.
right.
But yes, go ahead, Pop.
Yeah, so that's my thing. He gets up there and talks so confident. I've been all my life. I've been a center. Man, shut up, man. Just shut up. Just get it right this year, or you're gone. That's all I got for you.
And he's
You
also
know what,
he's
Pop?
also in the
I'm not
last
mad
year of his
at it.
contract.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey,
The last year's
and
contract.
maybe this is. I think there's a lot of experimenting going on with this roster this year too, especially with some of these people on the last year of their contract. So I'll throw that out there too. But Doug, what you got?
Yeah.
Can't hear you, Doug.
You muted because you watching TV, Doug. My bad.
Like what I said, whatever yeah, hey, I've been watching the Olympics. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I've been tuning to Olympics every night.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's been good, man. It's
Hey,
been good.
the thing for me is I just need. I mean, the pads have been popping, but pop some pads against another team. Tony already said, you got to
Mm-hmm.
see, you got to
Facts.
see the Jets. Popping, like you said, one thing. I was saying, I learned this in college. Let your play do the talking. You don't have to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say with Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders basically let it be known yesterday he had his best day at camp. Almost every content creator, I bet you popping them has also over that Black Panther podcast, Black Cat Panther podcast, talking about the same thing with Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders finally has showed up, and I think the thing with him is he doesn't have to be the man. He just has to go out there and play.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing Austin Corbett has to do is just go out there and play. Again,
Yeah.
let your play do the
Yep.
talking. The same thing where I said the whole thing with Bryce. People want Bryce to be a vocal leader. You don't have to be a leader. Your play can show that you're a leader. You don't. I mean, like I said, one thing I will say that he's good at is calling plays. But the thing that has to be what CJ's favorite saying is you have to be available for those 17 games. If you're not available for those
Yeah.
17 games,
Mm-hmm.
what is it used to saying? Oh, my leg was healthy, or I've been playing center. That's just you talking out of one side of your mouth, and then you're not letting your play back it up. So, only thing for me is
Yeah.
like I said, next Thursday. I hope Tony's wrong. He said that starters and all this and that. He didn't particularly say the offensive line, but I need to see it at least for 2 series. Then
Yeah.
when we come back
Mm-hmm.
home the following week to that joint practice, the bad thing
Yeah.
about it is, and I don't think everybody knows, is we're supposed to have 2 days of joint practice with the Jets. We only have one this year.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
in that one, I will be more paying attention to the trenches, what Tony loves to say. The trenches is going to really show me, again, if you got time in the pocket, I don't care what type of weapons that you have. Just look at Patrick Mahomes before the years that he had. If he had time, he was making I'm not going to say no names, but players that were mid and going to a different team play at a different style. So that's what I
Yeah.
got.
Go Harmon.
One thing about it, when it comes to those trenches, man, for me, you gonna apply pressure and stop pressure. Stop pressures with the offensive line, apply pressures with the defensive line. Okay? That's just what it
Mm-hmm.
is. You either gonna apply pressure or
Yeah.
stop pressure. Which one can you do it? That's gonna be the question. Can you apply pressure and can you stop pressure at the end of the day? Because that's gonna dictate how the rest of the team in the back end, offensively and defensively, is going to be able to progress, or if they're going to be any good or not. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and I just wanted to say also, the $150 million that we spent in guards, I think that was so far. I mean, so far, because nothing meaningful has happened yet. But the way they've looked in camp, I think they've looked okay. I've seen a few times in the padded practice and actually the day before where they were doing the 11 on 11 drills, and Bryce Young actually had a pocket where he could step up into, because you saw Icky and Taylor Moulton taking their guy, swinging them around the back, and not Austin, Bryce had a pocket to step up into and actually make a decent throw. What we saw a lot of last year, it was just he had two or three defenders in front of him, and then two, coming off the edge, and he had nowhere to go. So I will say
Mm-hmm.
that looked good so far. Now we have to see it in a game, and hopefully it translates. But so far, I think it's
Yeah.
been money, well spent. So I will
'Cause
say that.
I just think they just really been thudding the past couple of days. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think they really got the pass popping. I don't think there's been any really
Nah.
true battles in the trenches yet. But like I said, that joint practice are all best off. There's
Mm-hmm.
no thudding, there's no, going halfway or 3/4 speed. No, you're gonna have to show what you got.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Facts. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and slide on to the next slide. Okay. And I put this one up here because from what I've seen in camp so far, our quarterback has been dropping some dimes out there. he has been making some very nice passes. He's had good ball placement. There was one pass when he threw the TMJ near the end of yesterday's practice. Where when I say he put some like I used to say, he put some stank on the ball. He threw a pass. He threw it low and kind of down to the right. And there was
Yeah.
another angle of it that I didn't see until the day. And somebody made a comment and they were like, man, they was like, my God, is anybody wondering, worried that he didn't see that defender in between him and TMJ? And another comment right after that was like, well, look where the ball was placed. He placed it down in a way, but on the other side of the ball, I promise you, it looked like that ball went through that defender's hand. Like that's how hard he threw it. It looked like it went through his hand, and then TMJ caught it. So, like I said, he's had some very good throws, some very good throws, and I just wanted to give him a little bit of credit for that. And also, I did want to put this up here too. I have some clips from our I got some clips from. Hold on, there we go. I got some clips from training camp. And shout out to Big Uncle Quan because I got this from him last night. Instead of adding all these damn videos, in
Just
the
go
EV
to
Mucks,
Twitter.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go bookmark these damn things and watch them on Twitter. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, if you look at this one here, now this was a pass that he had to Adam Thielen. Okay. Now it was incomplete, but what I want everybody to notice is, now mind you, there's no pressure, there's nobody rushing him. But look at his footwork. Okay, look at his foot. Oh, hold on, Will. I got you. I got you. You go ahead and put that in the chat for you, big dog. All right, there you go. But look at his footwork and notice where he threw the ball from and where the ball landed.
To his front foot and let that thing rip. I was just looking at
Mm-hmm.
how he didn't look like he was he had to run and jump in the air before he threw the ball, and like he really put some put some torque behind it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one
Hey,
thing I
look,
will
look, look
say,
at dig it.
one thing I
Go
will
ahead,
say that
Pop.
I
Go ahead, go
noticed
ahead, go ahead.
about Bryce, and I'm not gonna come on here and sound like the Bryce hater. I'm not gonna do it. But
No,
what
no,
I
oh, no,
will
hold on. Hey,
say,
Pop, hold on. No, 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 no. Hey, no. Let me tell you. I always say this, and I mean this. When you come over to two fans in the stands, talk how say what you feel, bro. You ain't got to sugarcoat it because you're coming over here.
now
Say
I don't,
say
I
how
don't.
you feel.
Charles, what I'm going to say though, what I'm going to say though, that I did not like, and he has to get this under control. He's holding on the ball too long when he's scrambling. Throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna have all that time. When you
Mm,
scramble in the pocket, throw the ball, Bryce. I've seen that so many times. So like, throw the ball, man. You got to throw it. You can't hold on to it all day. That's the only thing I was gonna say.
okay.
Poppin,
All
are you
right.
talking about
My
from
bad.
Saturday? Poppin.
Did I? Well, I don't know if he was talking about from Saturday, but there were some plays where Bryce was rolling out, and that's the thing I was saying is that the view was kind of off at times. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't tell whether the lineman got to him before he started his rollout. If it was a situation where the lineman, pulled up and they were like, okay, well, I would have got him, but they continued on with the play to kind of see what happens. Because it was like that on that pass to Ian Thomas, where when he rolled out, it looks like from my angle, it looks like Derek Brown was between me and Bryce, but I can't tell exactly how close Derek Brown was to actually getting his hands on Bryce. But then Bryce rolled out and threw and threw a nice pass to Ian Thomas down the sidelines.
Nice
But
pass. Yep.
I don't know if that's yeah. Okay, there you go, Pop.
Yeah,
Ask him
me,
again
sir.
though.
Oh, Poppin, I was asked, Poppin, can you hear me? Because I see his mic went back up.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I was saying, were you talking about Saturday? You just been talking about practice overall.
Saturday,
I figure you were talking about Saturday.
yeah, Saturday. When I was able to really get
Yeah.
closer to see what he was doing. I mean, he had to scrambled out of the pocket. And he rolled out to his right, but it's just been several times that I've been watching, and it's like, man, you got to throw that ball, man. He is getting it out quicker. I'm not saying he does it all the time, but he's got to get it out, man. You gotta take that. Got to take your shot.
So can I ask this? And the only reason why I want you practice the way you play. So I can't disagree with you with that, Papa, because if he's doing it now in practice, he's going to do it in the game.
I hope
So
not.
I agree with you. I'm not even going to argue with you because I wasn't given the benefit of the doubt. You can't give him benefit of the doubt anymore. You've been in the league
Right.
more than a year, so I can't do that. So I was going to say let's see it in a game because it may not happen in the game, but if you're doing it in practice against your own where they know they can't hit you,
Hmm.
then what are you going to do in the game when
You're
somebody
creating bad habits.
exactly? That's what I'm saying. So
Right.
with that, I agree with you on that. I mean, you can't. Again, that's one thing Bryce did. He took a lot of sacks himself because he didn't just throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to throw the ball away. I'd rather you throw the ball away when you roll out and you don't see anything right than you take a sack. So I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Poppin.
All right. Hey, MDJ, I saw you comment, good buddy. I hope my microphone is not is not acting up again today. But I hope y'all can hear me good. But yeah, and who was it? Somebody, I think it was Eternal. He made a comment. He said, what was the longest throw? And like with this one here, this is what I want to show, because if I'm not mistaken here, Bryce is launching this from
The 40. Isn't that the
the
40?
40.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between
Yeah, he's launching
35
because
and
there's the
40.
10, 20, 30, and it looked like he's at about the 40, between the 40 and the 45. And that ball made it all the way to the end zone. Okay. So that's at least 50 something yards. All right. And I hear a lot of people talk about his arm and this and that and the third. And when I saw this, I was like, I gotta play this one. I gotta play this one because he's not hopping around, he's not bouncing. He had a good base. And like I said, this is just they're practicing, there's no pressure. He doesn't have anybody trying to take his head off and whatnot. But they always say what you do starts with when nobody's looking, in a sense.
Right. Right.
You get what I'm saying? So even if there is not anybody around and he's not getting any pressure, it's still good to see him throwing a decent pass, and wasn't completed. Good play by JC Horn to knock it down. But I like his footwork, and that's another thing. You've seen him throw some deep passes in these few practices. It hasn't been a whole lot of them, but he's let the ball go a few times. He's let the ball go a few times. And let me see if I can get Will up here again real quick. So give me a second, sir. Here. All right. Will, can you hear us, good buddy? Oh, hold on.
Finally, I fixed my audio issues. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay,
sir.
good.
Up
All
Tip
right,
there.
drill Will. What's up, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys. I'll go back on mute, but I just wanted to join you guys here for a
Anytime,
few
bro.
minutes. It's training camp time, so a brother excited. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Hey,
always.
we feel you. We feel you. We all excited. Even though we
Talk
try to
to us, Will.
temper it, even though we try to temper it down some, it's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Facts.
I kind of like the levelness that you guys are kind of like. You can feel the enthusiasm because it's training camp, because we have hope and optimism. But then also we
Mm-hmm.
trying to look, we're in a rebuilding season. So I actually had this conversation with Tep when I went to
Mm-hmm.
training camp. So it was a pretty interesting conversation with him. It was two nuggets that he pointed out that I thought was pretty interesting. I wanted to share with you boys, right?
Go ahead.
So me and my kid, it was me and my wife and my grandkids. We was out at the at training camp. It was day 2 of
Mm-hmm.
training camp. So I didn't get my tickets early enough as a PSL, so I was over there in the general admission side. But he came over and talked to everybody. I got a picture with my grandkids and Tep and me and my wife and everything. But anyway,
Okay.
two things he pointed out. So my wife was joking around with them and everything. He said, I joke around a lot, and a lot of things that people take very seriously that I had to realize, because I'm the owner of the team, that people take out of context. And I was like, I just paused and kind of looked at him, right? Because he was just like, people take it out of context. Like, And then so my wife didn't say anything. And then so as he, when he walked away, she mentioned about he taking the guy hat off at the restaurant, right? And the other thing he
Yeah.
said is, I really appreciate, the fans that did come to training camp because, we're in a rebuilding season and let's see how this goes. He says, I just want a winner. I just want to win.
Facts.
And so those two things was
Okay.
kind of an interesting dichotomy. I'm not caping for the man. I'm just saying the two things that he said. Right. But anyway,
Right.
Okay.
good to
Hey,
hang out with
All
you
right.
guys,
Cool.
man.
hey, Will.
Hey, and I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, real quick, though. Hey, Will, I'm sorry I missed you, man, because it was funny because I got offered some VIP tickets, and I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting here with my wife, and I was like, dang. I said, Will is coming to training camp on Thursday. I said, I really want to go over there and see him, but I was like, I can't turn down these tickets.
No,
I
no, no,
said,
no,
I
no.
didn't know where he
That's
was
all
gonna
good.
be at.
I'll see you. I'll see you over on the VIP side. I got VIP tickets the day before joint practice, and then I'll be in Gen
Mm,
Pop on joint practice day. So I'll be there both of those
okay.
days. And then and then
Okay.
um
Yeah,
and
I
then
got
I'll and then I'll see you
oh
guys
no, go ahead.
over
Go
at
ahead. Go ahead.
in Germany as well.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
yes. I
Yeah.
definitely be in
You
Germany, Will.
yeah, you
So
see
I
Uncle
see you
Bernie.
there, my guy.
Sorry, Tony. Go ahead, Doug. You was gonna say
Nah,
something, bro. Go ahead.
you can't help yourself. But go ahead.
I can't. I don't make no bones about
Tip
it.
Drill Will, can I ask you this? Because you kind of made me turn my head sideways when Tim was saying that this is a rebuild season or we're in a rebuild. As Panther fans, we've heard that since he's basically traded away veterans on this team and brought in coaches after coaches.
You
And
you you you
and
asking the wrong guy.
well,
You
no,
asking.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no,
I'm
no,
just relaying the information,
no.
brother.
I was gonna ask you, how did you feel when he said that? That's how I was trying to say. How did you feel when
So to me, he felt genuine. Like let's see how this goes. You know what I mean?
okay.
He
Mhm.
just. I'm not. Trust me. I've been in love with this flipping team since they announced it in '93. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um.
Right.
So he's new to this. We done been through this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to see how it goes, right? And
Got you.
as we watch training camp, we watch it happen. I mean, we're seeing
Mhm.
like you gentlemen were saying, we're seeing competition at all levels, right?
Right.
And
Facts.
and it kind of like I don't know how we missed this during last training camp last year. I don't know. Like we were blinded by the love of the team, I guess. But um
I think the
I
media
feel
got to Tip Drill Will. I think the media hyped it up too much for us last year.
yeah. But
Mm.
I'm just as we do the analysis, as we walk through this as real fans, we know that we're a 6-win team, right? But we're looking for other things as fans, right? As we sit and CJ, my wife always comes out to games, but she always welch out. So I got club seats.
Mhm.
So whenever she welch out on me, it might be last minute type of deal. I might shoot you a text. If you available, just show up to the
Okay.
stadium with me and then you come on in with me. But
Okay.
um the as we look at this, we want to see our offensive line build out right. We want to watch our running game be established, and we want to watch our second year quarterback show progression. That's what we want, right? We want our
Facts.
defense to be at least minimize the pain of the pass rush that we may be lacking. That's what we're looking for. Everybody else looking at our record, we're looking at something entirely different as a fan base. True fan base. Over.
Okay. Facts.
Gotcha.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. All right. Hey, well let's we got one more person that decided to join us
Mm-mm.
here.
No,
Our
no.
I, hey look, our favorite resident Panthers closet fan. We got Mr. Blue Swarm here. How you doing, buddy?
Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers. Hey, Dougie, what's going on with
What you
that, man?
want?
Why can't I
What you
join the show,
want?
bro?
I can't look. It's almost like pain and suffering. I'm ready to get this over with. What you got to say?
I know it's kind of like looking in the mirror and having to face reality, man. When I show up, I know
Oh
it's hard.
Lord.
Hey, I got a question though.
Oh Lord.
I'm not really
What's up,
sure
Red?
if Tip Drill will, and I could be mistaken, but I just want to ask: did you and I have some discussions last preseason, um before the season start? Now I might be wrong, and if so, please forgive me if you have no idea who my voice is or who I am. But I think we had some dialogue about the two teams before the season started last year. Well, maybe he can't hear me. I was just curious.
I'll say that one more time. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I was just, and again, apologies if they're in order, because I sort of just vaguely remember, not very clearly. But did we have some discussions leading into the season last year, you and I, on a couple of broadcasts talking about our two teams? I'm a Falcons fan.
Yes, we did.
Okay, all right, good. I thought
Yes,
so when I recognized your voice.
yes.
I just
I
wanted to be
I, I,
sure.
I, I was hyped up and hyped up and drunk off adrenaline of my squad
Oh, very,
having
very,
the
very,
first
very,
overall
very,
pick.
very,
So
very, very
forgive
hyped up.
anything that
Very,
I
very
said
hyped up.
of my past transgressions, brother.
Amen. Amen. We all stand in the need of the grace of our Almighty Father and God.
You
So,
need it most right now because the blasphemy that you be preaching that the Falcons are going to win this amount of games. You need to get in the front of the church and
well,
apologize.
I only said
So
11-6, Craig. I only said, Dougie, damn.
so
See,
so I
Dougie,
just tell you this.
I only said, stop, Tony. That ain't funny. That ain't funny, man. I
So
only
the
said
only thing that
11-6.
only thing I'll
Oh, he
say
put his
about
GI
Georgia,
out there.
the only thing I'll say about Georgia is the only thing that's good about Georgia is the
It's
peaches,
the
and I ain't
airport.
talking about the fruit,
I
right?
There
know.
you
I
go.
know. You were
Oh
fortunate enough to
Lord.
get you one of
Hey,
them. Yeah, yeah. Amen,
my
brother.
wife a Georgia peach.
Amen,
Hey,
brother. Amen.
I slipped across the border, picked me a Georgia peach, and ran back across the border. I'm
And,
South
and,
Carolina all day and twice on Sunday, baby.
and you
That's all I got
probably
to
you
say.
probably you probably fly out of Hartfield Jackson on a regular basis. So
No,
truth
no,
be
no,
told,
no, no. I'm an American airline man. I'm out of Charlotte,
There you
baby.
go.
okay,
Hey,
okay,
American all
okay.
day, baby.
Why in the world would anyone in their right mind do that? But that's another discussion. We'll have that at another time. So and maybe it's closer to you. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Uh,
It's all good.
can I ask you a
Hey,
question? Does
well, you
Charlotte
know
have an
what?
international airport? I never asked that before.
Yeah.
Is it
Mm-hmm.
international? It is. Okay, I was curious. I,
Come on,
I I did not know.
come on, Red.
Hey, Red. Hey,
Put a
don't
Come on,
hey,
Red.
hey, Red.
I got my
I'm
hand on the
not
kick
tripping.
button.
Don't be
I'm
that
not
guy.
tripping.
I got my
I'm not
hand on the kick
tripping.
Don't.
button, Red.
Tony, CJ, listen, Dougie, I did not know. I wasn't being funny. I wasn't being funny. I mean, I didn't know. Listen, there's only a few airports that I've ever flown into or out of Conus, United States. So I didn't know, man. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
there go your answer
Look,
right
right
there.
there.
Right
Charlotte
there.
Douglas International.
Thank you. So now I know. Now I know. Now I know.
He trolling,
All
man.
right.
I love
No,
it.
Dougie, I
It's
really
all
am not.
good.
I
It's
really
all
am not. I
good.
didn't know. I did not
Okay.
know. I
Okay.
did not know.
Come on, CJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
hey, I had a
okay.
piece
So
of
we getting
interesting
back to
information. That
go
can I
ahead.
just
Go
plug
ahead,
in this
Red.
with
What's
y'all
up?
real quick? And I think
Yeah.
that
Yeah, go ahead.
it's of import to the
Mm-hmm.
Panthers fan base. Steve Wilkes,
Oh yeah.
has been at practice for the Falcons the last 2 days, man.
Yeah.
Something's
Yeah, I
going
saw
on with
Who
that.
that
that.
now?
We haven't heard anything official yet, but that's kind of very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see them bring him
Oh, you
on our
talking about
staff,
Steve
man.
Wilkes?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Steve Wilkes.
I love to see them bring him on our
Oh,
staff.
gotcha.
For what
Man, what
though?
you talk?
Oh, well,
It
hey,
don't.
we'll
Hey,
see.
hey, Dougie. It don't matter to me what he coming there to do. That man is a defensive mastermind, man. We'll take it.
Okay.
I have to agree with you on that one, though, Red.
Yeah, bro.
And his background, his expertise is that defensive backfield. So
Yeah.
he's a defensive back coach before anything.
That's a
Yep.
fact.
Yep. Yep.
Gotcha. All right. Well, cool beans, cool beans. Hey, all right. Well, let's get back to Bryce Young dropping dimes like I was talking. And we're gonna get in this play here. Now, this was the play where he rolled out and threw the ball to Ian Thomas. Now, this was that play Tony was talking about where I couldn't tell if Derek Brown, may have got the sack on him because they were in, but he was in between me and Bryce, but Bryce did roll out and then he launched the ball downfield. Let me go ahead and play this one real quick.
You know that man don't care about no Ian Thomas.
I know, I know.
Not one bit.
Look at his face. He
Yeah.
was trying to hold it in. Look at his face. He was trying to hold it in. He tried to say it straight face. Like, you know how you don't want to laugh? He said it with a straight face and then couldn't help but laugh.
Hey, but you know what
I'm
though?
trying.
On
I'm
this,
trying to be a better person, man. Trying to be a
hey,
He
better
said
person.
you want all the smoke. Hold on, CJ. Hold on. Let me get him real quick, CJ, please.
go ahead,
He said
Doug.
you
Go
want
ahead,
all the
Doug.
smoke. So how you trying to be a better person? You want all the
Hey,
smoke.
yeah. I mean, hey, listen. I've said what I've said about Ian Thomas. Ain't nothing about that change. I stand on business on that.
Okay.
Now I
Okay.
ain't gonna keep elaborating on him. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
he has some good little catches here and there, but that don't
That
mean
boy
nothing to
trash.
me.
That's a
That
fact.
boy
That's
Yeah.
a
trash.
fact.
Thank you, Pop.
And
Thank you,
you know what,
Pop.
Red? It is so sad that y'all want to be the Carolina Panthers so bad. That is just so sad. Y'all need
He ain't hear
counseling.
you. I don't think he heard you popping.
Oh,
He
I
probably
heard him.
did.
That don't deserve no comment. Why would I want to? Why would I go? Why would I want to go from 7-10 to 2-15, Poppin?
I'm just saying, y'all want to just take anything we got. Anything we got, y'all want the leftover, just like some birds.
Yeah,
Leave some crumbs around, here y'all go.
I'll take Steve Wilkes and
I
Derek
bet you
Brown for
will.
2 first-round picks.
Look at you.
Mm.
Eh, I'm gonna tell my mom to put you on a prayer list.
Hey, we all need the word of prayer, Pop. So
Oh boy, what
put
you
me on there too.
say?
Hey, but can I make this point before you do the next one? Tommy
Yeah, go
Tremble
ahead.
and Ian Thomas are down. This is a position that's
Yeah.
of need now. But now can I, I'm gonna kind of be the bad man with Tony. You remember we were saying, why did we get JT Sanders? The point exactly right here. Because let's just say you
No.
didn't get but no, hold on. I'm saying let's just say we didn't have a JT Sanders right now. Sullivan
Hmm.
has been inconsistent. Then you also have is it Jordan Matthews? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Jordan
Mm-hmm.
So
Matthews.
so outside of those two, we went from is it 4 or 5 tight ends to down to 3. And
Oh, yeah.
that's not a good number. Let's just say you didn't get JT Sanders. You're only gonna have 2 tight ends. So
Right.
what I'm looking at it now is everybody wanted JT Sanders to come in and be tight end too. He has opportunity now because I think it's going to help him getting first team reps, going against first team defense where he can get those reps. I really think it's the perfect time. Oh, that was a nice route. Oh my
Mm-hmm. Oh
God.
yeah, that was a nice one there.
I'm done. I ain't got. That's the one that I was
Yeah.
telling you. Remember when I tweeted and I told you it was that placement, or was it? I forgot what that said. CJ, was it
Yeah.
placement or
Yeah. You said something about placement, and I hadn't seen the play. That's why I was like,
man?
talk
Mm-hmm.
to me. But
Yeah.
with the tight end position, I wasn't against Jatavion Sanders. It was more so Jonathan Brooks than anything. I thought that Jatavion Sanders was a good choice because we haven't had a true pass catching tight end since Greg Olsen. So that was a room that we have been talking about wanting to see an upgrade for the past 2 or 3 years. And especially when Carolina made the mistake in giving Ian Thomas that extension and paying him 6.5 million a year. So I like I said, NSA all day. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Jatavian Sanders, yeah, I think he has an opportunity to really step up and show what he's made of now, running with the ones. But you still got Jatavian Sanders, Sullivan. Jordan Matthews, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, finished the year last year on the practice squad with us, and came back this year. I think we signed him to a futures contract at the end of last year
Didn't
when
he
he was
come
on
from
the
Philly
practice
though,
squad.
Tony? If
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
came.
mistaken.
Yeah, he came from Philly, and then
Hmm.
he I think one or two games he made the 53-man roster being called up from the practice squad, but I think he finished the year on the practice squad and he signed him to a futures contract right after the season. So he was coming into camp this year. So you still have the opportunity to, he's still growing into that tight end position because he came out of Vanderbilt as a big body wide receiver. He's not a natural tight end. So this is a position switch that he's had since he's been in the NFL. So, again, like some of the cuts that we made and some of the additions that we've added, like you said, we could have added at other positions of need. We could have added at cornerback. We could have added at tight end. Okay. We could have added at any other position besides wide receiver. Wide receiver room was already stacked before training camp.
Hey CJ, can you play that one again? Can you play that clip? My bad, Tony. Can you play that clip again, CJ?
Which one?
This one right here. Who's
Yeah,
seventy
it's on
six?
repeat.
Who's on 76?
Seven,
Who's 76?
76 is not Josh Naaman, but was it
The
Thorpe?
Theor,
Tharp? Yeah,
Theory, something like that. Yeah.
yeah. Uh-huh.
He's the
Okay.
backup right tackle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
Yeah. I need to see it one more time because
yeah, he
is Icky. Okay, I see Icky. Okay.
yeah,
Nah,
he
he
over here.
he he put hands on Jadavion Clowney.
No, he
Yeah.
didn't.
Yes,
I
he
mean,
He
did.
showed-
Jadavion
You
Clowney
see it right there.
Clowney pushed him right back into
That's what
Bryce.
I'm
Bryce
saying.
just
Hold
let
on,
that
Tony.
thing
That's
go
what
Bro,
I'm
quick.
getting at,
listen.
Tony. Hold
Ho-
on.
ho- Hold on,
Hold on.
hold on.
Slow,
All right.
y'all
Hold on. I'm
wrong.
gonna pause it.
Hold on.
I'm gonna pause it.
Pause. Just pause right there. When y'all
Hold
say
on.
he pushing back, y'all have to remember he's coming back.
But
He's
look, but hold on,
falling
but
back.
Tony, go if you
Hold
go
on.
back
Let me
right.
let me finish. Let me
Go ahead.
finish. He's in pass protection. Even if you just stop right there, you see Theory in between Bryce and Jadavion Clowney. You don't see Jadavion Clowney. Bryce at this position has already thrown the
Release the
ball.
ball.
Look where Jadavion Clowney is, and look where Bryce is at. He's not near Bryce.
So Tony, I understand what you're saying, but if you look at it, look at you said this is who again?
I can't
Uh,
remember his name.
Trey Oren.
Okay.
Yeah, I
If
can't
you
remember
look
his.
at it, Clowney beat him with a hand movement because you see his hands go down. If you go back, CJ, you see his hands. Clowney beat him with the hand movements. I understand that you're saying Bryce got the ball away, but if you look, you see that sweep move
Okay,
because he beat him.
okay,
He really beat him.
okay,
So
but
okay, so answer this question: was the pass complete? If the pass was complete, I digress. Was the pass
Yep.
complete?
it's
Yep.
not even about
TMJ.
Okay.
whether the ball was completed or not. If
Well,
you're
he had
going,
pressure. That's the reason why, Tony. That is important.
no, he
Because if the ball
didn't.
was not
Look,
completed,
look,
that's a
look
pressure.
at CJ. Please back the play up and when look at when where Bryce was at where he released the ball and look where Jadavion Clowney is at. Right here,
Right there.
ball
Literally
gone.
right there,
Hmm.
right where the
Stop,
ref
hold on,
is.
Doug. Hold
Right
on.
where the ref
Hold
is.
on. All I'm saying is, look where Bryce is at. Jadavion Clowney, if you see that referee with the R on his back right there, he is right there with the right tackle. If you look and see where Bryce Young is at, he is not near Bryce Young. But he's nowhere near Bryce Young.
Tony, I think that's what I'm saying. If you let me say what I'm saying, that's a pressure. If the ball was not complete, I didn't say he was in Bryce's face. When we first said that, CJ and I were both saying Clowney provided pressure off the edge. What I'm saying is a
That wasn't
pressure.
that wasn't even a pressure.
Okay.
That's not.
Okay.
He may have won by swiping, the two hand swipe. Yes, he may
Uh-huh.
have got that, but Trayor still had position in between Bryce and Jadavion Clowney. So that's not a pressure. That
Yeah.
that had that had
Now,
that
hey,
had that had no it had no factor on the throw that Bryce Young made. None whatsoever.
Mm. Now I will say this. I will say this, and then we'll move on. Now, if Bryce would have held on, like Papa said earlier, Bryce was holding on to the ball too long. Now, if he would have held on to the ball and not let that ball rip, now Jadeveon Clowney would have been in his hip, about a half second later. Okay, so it can kind of go both ways depending on what happened. But as who said it over here? I think it was Nikari. He said say he didn't have pressure 2.7 seconds or less. Hey, Bryce did what he was supposed to do. He made the read and he got that ball up out of there. But as Papa said, if he gets in the habit of holding the ball too long, this right here might be a sack. Depending. Now, I will say this. Look at his pocket though. All right, you see Icky over there. You got Icky over here. You got my man. I think it's Badaro Trayor. I think that's his name. I looked up just now. But look at the rest of his pocket. Look at you got Austin Corbett in there. You got Robert Hunt, and I don't know where.
Mhm.
And then Damian Lewis. They're all right up in there. But look at his pocket. Now, even if that wasn't the read, and he didn't throw this ball to TMJ and was completed, I do like this because I think he had room to step up in the pocket if he could have sensed that pressure coming from his right side. Okay, so I think we can take it out of that. Depending on the situation, it could have been the pressure, could have been a sack if he'd held on the ball. But also looking at this now, he may have had an opportunity to step up. This right here looks, leaps and bounds better than 75% of the tape that we saw with him having time to throw the ball, last year. So I think we could take that with that one. Yep. But all right, let me see. Let's get back into the slides here. Okay, so that was a few samples of Bryce, dropping some dimes, laying some good passes on his receiver, and one ball where he actually did rip it in there. He actually he let it rip, got it past the defender, and TMJ made a great catch on it. Great catch. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right. So I put this one up here and I said Jadeveon Clowney locked in. And the only reason I said that is because I think Clowney is actually having a pretty good camp so far. Okay. Just
Okay.
like that play we were just looking at where he he was, like I said, depending on how the play went, but he was moving that man. Bryce Young got rid of the ball, but this has been the situation on a lot of different plays where you see Clowney in the backfield. And I think there's been certain plays where he's actually gotten to Bryce. They got that touch on him, and I think they counted that as a sack. But him and okay, let me start and go back to this. So you got Clowney, all right, and the expectation was it was going to be Clowney and DJ Wonham. That was supposed to be our outside linebacker duo / edge rushers. Wonham is hurt. He's still dealing with that quad injury, had a setback. He was supposed to be ready by training camp, but he is not. All right. Kayvon Chason, if I'm not mistaken, was supposed to be backing up Clowney on that left side, but in practice, we've seen Kayvon Chason on the right side. All right. And I think there's been a few plays where Kayvon Chason has been a factor as well. So like I said, I don't know what anybody else has seen, but do y'all what do y'all think about Clowney? He did have one play where I think he knocked Chuba to the ground or something. Chuba got up, got in his face, and then Icky came over there and pushed Clowney. Then they had to be separated. They ran the next play and they were still going at it, after the next play. And and like Poppin said earlier, about the attitude, like the different attitude this year, I like to see this. I know they teammates and all, but I like to see the aggression. I like to see them out there, like, especially Icky, like, nah, that's my running back. What you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like to see they're out there, giving it their all, actually getting upset with each other for doing certain things. But what are y'all thoughts on Clowney so far?
Yeah, I'll let y'all get into that, but I just wanted to point out this Paul Mancini. He said my
Mm-hmm.
Eagles released cornerback Mario Goodrich out of Clemson yesterday due to their deep depth at the cornerback position. Panthers should bring him in and take a good look at him. I remember Mario Goodrich at Clemson, big body cornerback, if I'm not mistaken. He's like 6'1", 6'2", about 200 pounds. But yeah, Paul been saying that for the past month or so about the depth at the cornerback position in Philadelphia. And hopefully because we are number one on the waiver wire through week
Mm-hmm.
4 of the regular season, that there's going to be opportunities for the Panthers to possibly pick up some good corners, specifically from Philadelphia, since they have a plethora of them, and it looks like this is one of the first cuts or releases that they made. So hopefully Carolina looks into this. But good, thanks for pointing that out, Paul.
Cool. Bet. All right. So, like I said, what are y'all thoughts about Clowney? And like Nakari said, Chason has surprisingly looked good. And I will say this: he was drafted by the Jaguars. The Jaguars have ran a 4-3 scheme. He ran it was in a 3-4 scheme at LSU. Comes to Carolina, you know, Gerald Evero runs a 3-4, so he might be in a better fit. He might feel more comfortable in the scheme. So, what do y'all think?
Tony, you
Go ahead,
going?
Doug.
I
No,
don't.
no, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. I just wanted to point out the cornerback thing.
I'll say this: I don't like what he did with Chuba because Ian Thomas got hurt after that happened. I don't know what happened. Um,
Mm,
from my understanding, where I read a couple people, they said he got carted off after that incident happened. For me, you like aggression, but again, yeah, I don't. I didn't see you talk about that,
I,
CJ, but they said,
nah,
um,
I didn't see it. I think Chuba got up. I don't
no,
remember
not
seeing
Chuba.
him
I
getting
said
carted off.
Ian
Ian? Oh,
Thomas.
I didn't remember seeing him get carted off neither.
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay.
Well, I'll say Dunk, and then I know Rashad talked about how he got carted off after the incident.
Oh.
Um,
Now I know Nick Thurman. Nick Thurman was down on one knee behind that while it was going on. I do
mhm.
remember that, but I don't remember anything about Ian Thomas though.
So overall, outside of that incident, you bring in a veteran like that that's showing they still have juice in the tank, that they still are able to be a leader. One thing that Clowney hasn't shown is he hasn't been vocal at all.
Mm,
He's showing it on play. He's putting it on tape. Um,
yeah.
Kayvon Chasen, we said it here. He was on that massive LSU team that all got drafted the following year in the NFL draft. He is a great 3-4 in the hand, stand up, hand in the dirt type of DN. He's not a 4-3 DN. So he has always been playing outside of the he always has been playing out of position when he was with Jacksonville. Um Again, I need to see DJ Johnson. I think the last day that you went, CJ, you had a couple of clips of DJ Johnson where
Mm-hmm.
you posted and said DJ Johnson doing one-on-ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
that can be a boom or a bust type of pick. You traded up. There was players that outperformed him in their first year, which they're going to probably outperform him in his second year because they already have reps. Um,
Mm.
the one asterisk that I would give Dan Morgan right now is DJ Wanham. I'm really scratching my head right now with that signing because we're about to go into week 2 of training camp. Literally, Fan Fest is for the fans, but if you really count Saturday, you're going into week 2 of training camp. He has not dressed. I haven't heard any updates or anything. So for me, it's more of that is a position of need. But I'm surprised no CJ did the guy from uh, Tony's my name guy. I cannot think of his name. The one that we just signed.
The
The
D
deep
the
runner.
Edge.
Yes.
Oh, what is his name?
Tony, you know the
Who
name.
was
You good with the names.
we just signed somebody on the edge?
We signed him the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
day.
yeah. Down the other day. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Give me a hot second. Let me pull the other clip
Hey
back
man,
up
I, I
here.
I've been in Twitterverse, man, the past couple of days. You know what I'm
You get a
saying?
Twitter. It was on Twitter.
Kimoko Ture.
Oh
Okay,
That's the
yeah,
one we
Kimoko
signed.
Toure.
Uh huh.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did
Kimoko
did he
Toure.
Mm-hmm.
dress? Did he dress for Tuesday's practice?
You know what? If he did, I ain't know what number he was. I wouldn't. I couldn't tell you if he was out there or not. I don't
Okay.
know what number he is or nothing.
Okay. Okay. Because the reason why I said it is because I need to see can the height match up his workout because that's a
Mm-hmm.
body that you need. That's a body that you need. Again, that's a group. But again, I the only blemish I have for um for Dan Morgan is DJ Wanham. Outside of that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. But that's a question mark because you threw him a bag that we possibly could have got another type of D in or brought another defensive lineman in.
Through who
Mm.
bag? We threw who
Oh,
bag though?
Warren.
we gave Wanham the
I
bag.
want him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then you see the number 37.
37. Okay.
Okay,
Got you. All right.
appreciate that,
Got you.
DJ
Got you. Got
Spins.
you.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you. Okay. All right. Well, that's all you got on Jadavian
Yeah,
Dove.
it's a leadership.
Hey,
It's a leader thing, and
Okay.
he's showing it as a leader.
yeah.
All
And
right. Cool.
before we go on to before CJ go on to the next slide, listen, we got 62 people watching us on Twitter. If y'all would do us a great big favor, slide over to our YouTube channel at Two Fans in the Stands. Hit that subscribe button so you can be alerted whenever we go live and drop new videos. We'll greatly appreciate it. And right now we have 52 people watching on YouTube, 43 likes. So can we get those likes up to match the people that's
Appreciate
in
it.
the chat? We'll greatly appreciate that as well. So again, if you're on
Sir.
YouTube, I mean if you're on Twitter, slide over to YouTube, join the family. Big shout out to uh uh what I think what they Blade was it Blade Bland?
Bland,
I said right.
Bland,
Bland.
Yeah,
Bland.
Bland
Mm-hmm.
for shouting us out, man. Yesterday we picked up a lot of followers on Twitter that follow him. So we greatly appreciate that. If you guys aren't subscribers on YouTube, again, follow go over to YouTube, Two Fans and Stands, hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it.
Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Hey, but now I did want to say one more thing. As far as our defensive, our outside linebackers. Now, I think as of right now, we're playing Clowney, Chason, Echo Leota. I think my man Toure. I don't know if he played yesterday or not, but he probably did. And who else? Derek McClendon. So that spot is very thin at the moment right now. So this combined with the next slide, I hope we do see some moving and shaking. But I said this last night on Uncle Quan, and I'm gonna say it again. Y'all go ahead and mark my word, and I apologize if I'm wrong, but I do think that we are going to see, some moves be made, either right before this preseason game with New England or immediately after. Because I'm kind of
Yeah.
thinking in my mind right now that it's kind of like, okay, we're going to wait and see what's going to go on after this first preseason game, and then we're going to start moving and shaking. So, maybe not, but we'll see. All right. Okay. So let's go on. All right. So I got a slide out about the cornerbacks, and I put too early to tell. Okay. I put too early to tell.
Yeah.
And reason why I said that is because I think we can all agree on one thing. If JC Horn can stay healthy, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Okay. If he
What's
can
up,
stay healthy.
Pickle?
How you doing, Panther Pickle? But if he can stay healthy, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. But past that, past Troy Hill, who was very solid last year, what is that cornerback 2 position going to look like? Now we got Dane Jackson, and I ain't gonna lie, I ain't said this before, but I don't like that number he wearing because there was a certain somebody that wore that number last year, stunk up the whole damn field, for so I ain't like, I don't like that number he got. But what do y'all think about our cornerback position? Me, I think if any position is of immediate, it needs immediate assistance, it's this position right here.
Hey, real quick, my stance has not changed from the offseason. Cornerback and center are still two positions of need for the Panthers. But like I said, when as far as the cornerback position, because we do pick first uh we do pick first through week 4 of the regular season off the waiver wire. So that gives us a good opportunity to grab some of these corners that may be cut, released, or waived from the current teams. So we have opportunities to upgrade the cornerback position through there. As far as the center position, it looks like Carolina is pretty dug in with the center position. So it is what it is with that. But the cornerback two position, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, CJ. Like I said, if JC Horn can stay healthy, we already know he's QB. I mean, he's cornerback number one. The other side of
Mm-hmm.
the ball, it's a toss up. You know what I'm saying? I think anybody can win that position if they step up and show and prove. Now you pay Dane Jackson the type of money that you pay him to come in and be the starter. But for me, I'm not truly convinced that he has that position on lock. If Carolina is truly about bringing in competition and upgrading the roster at each position, as much as they can. I think that's one position that they should take a look at is bringing in as much competition as possible. Not just guys that can be just, good backups or always looking for a diamond in the rough. I mean, there are a lot of good veteran cornerbacks that are still available through free agency that can come in and compete. And guys, like I said, that's going to be released or waived off other rosters, that can come in and compete. So I just think they need to do more of a due diligence. They need to do more at the cornerback position to create competition throughout training camp.
Mm. Doug?
One, two words: Brent Tillis, incentive base. Dan Jackson's contract isn't money; it's incentive base. He
Mm,
didn't get the bag. His contract was incentive based. A certain amount of games that you
Gotcha.
had to play, Pro Bowl, and I think we had to make the playoffs in his contract.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
So, um, for me, y'all know I'm an advocate of JC Horn. I don't say too much because for him being on the field this long, not missing any days, look like he's in shape. I'm good. I'm good. Um, we talked about the Justin Simmons. I don't need it right now. I understand that Sam Franklin was never going to see the field. Sam Franklin was a special teams ace.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I agree.
Now you say emergency. That's what you call an emergency when you go down two corners. Um, I mean two safeties. My apologies, but
Yeah.
um, I've said this to Tony and CJ. Until I see it for myself, a lot of stuff I see third eye. One thing I say,
Mm-hmm.
you can look at highlights, you can look at clips, but until you see it in person, it's a different story.
Right.
So for
Yeah.
me, I just need everybody to be healthy till I get there. Because you talking about a true assessment,
Facts.
you're not gonna have to worry about sugarcoating, the whole thing with Austin Corbett. Me and Tony's more adamant about it, but I said the same thing. We did mock drafts. We were drafting centers. One thing I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
with JC Horn when I see him, he got to stay healthy. Um, wide receivers.
Facts.
That's the best thing that you want is competition in training camp. D line. We can't have 23 sacks. That's terrible. I know some college teams that got more than 23 sacks last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's things that we're asking now. I can't tell you. The main man that can tell you on this screen is CJ. He's seen it. He's seen it. Like
Yeah.
you said, it's basically too early. It's really too early right now. Until you see them against other competition, it's too early. We can say Bryce is throwing dimes. It's too early. We can say
Mm-hmm.
Miles Sanders is having a rebound year. It's too early. We don't know. Again, that's the reason why I said my line is even kill. I can't get too high or too low until they play another team with another jersey and helmet on. Then I can say, okay, I can let it go up a little bit or I can go down a little bit. Whose stock is going up? Whose stock is going down? So again, everything is too early to tell right now because everything can look good. We saw that last year. We drunk the Kool-Aid going to get seconds and thirds until the pitcher was gone. And what happened? So, like I said,
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying basically the corners. I feel as a whole team, it's too early to really tell. Because again,
Yeah.
Bryce can throw dimes right now. But when he actually got somebody like a Quentin Williams that say he got 20 plus sacks and he runs towards him, is Bryce gonna be able to deliver that ball for a dime?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
Right.
All right. All right, Pastor Doug. All right.
nah, hey, I learned from my big cousin, man.
And they'll say you preaching, boy. You preaching, boy. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, don't make Kendall
But I
pull
mean,
that
but you're
truck
right
over.
though, Doug. You right. You're right. It all looks good now, but and I don't think, like we said, we ain't even gotta wait until the Jets practice. Like I said, we're gonna play New England next week. That's another
Yeah.
team competition. Now, mind you, I hope we get to go, starters versus starters, at least one series apiece, offense and defense, so we'll see what's up. But like you said, now the Jets defense ain't no joke. Now we probably will see more of a challenge from them as far as the offensive side of the ball. But you are 160,000% correct. It's all good. It looks good now, but hopefully it translates and it looks good once the bullets start flying. Okay.
That's a
But
fact.
but I did see somebody ask about how much salary cap we have. According to Spot Track right now, we have $6.1 million in cap space,
That's
which
nothing.
is not a lot to work with.
You need eight
Not
or
a
nine.
lot.
You need 8 or 9 to
Yeah.
do anything.
But hopefully, we got the proclaimed contract whisperer with us now, Brant Tillis. Hopefully he can make something shake. So we'll
CJ, be
see.
real. CJ, let's be real. Do
Go
you really
ahead.
think if there was a way to do it, Dan Morgan already said we're not restructuring. We're not doing what
Mm,
what's that effing man's name? Scott Fitterer did.
Scott
Restructure,
Fitter, yeah.
restructure.
Passing the buck down
Yeah.
the line.
Yeah, he said we're not doing that. So where's the money gonna come? Again, that
You,
I will be shocked late in the game right now if we actually restructure somebody. I just don't
mhm.
see it happening. Because again,
You
if
know
we
what?
were to do that, it would have been done probably right after the draft.
Yeah. Because we do got, I think we got a few candidates that can restructure. And I think the most lucrative one
It's
out of the
Taylor
bunch is
Moton.
Taylor Moton.
Taylor
Yeah.
Moton.
But I
Right.
think he's already been restructured
Right.
before. So I don't know if that's an option. Yeah, okay, twice. But you know what, Dunn? I'm glad you brought that up. Because it's getting to the point now, and I felt this way a little while ago, and now I'm really feeling this way. It's kind of, to me, if they haven't done anything by now, I don't think they're going to do anything. Like we might have one more move here and there, but like you were saying about Dane Jackson, like a contract that might be incentive based. But is that going to work for somebody like Stephon Gilmore? Is that going to work for somebody like Justin Simmons? Will we be able to bring them in, on those type of contracts? Because like you said, I don't see us bringing them in, with only 6 million in cap space, and then God forbid, hope I'm speak it up, but you get people to get hurt, you got to bring in other players. You can't use whatever you got left in the pot on one or two players. So like I said, if the moves haven't been made by now, I'm kind of worried that it won't happen. I do believe though it'll be some minor moves. It may not be the moves that we really want to see. Like Gilly, like who else is out there? Adoree Jackson, I do believe is out there. Xavier Howard. You got a Justin Simmons, and then and Tony, we will circle back to Justin Simmons now. Mr. Hunky Dory was saying, that rumor he heard, you bring Justin Simmons in. Who's that going to knock down? Is that, Xavier or Jordan Fuller? Because I
Right.
doubt he's coming here to
Back
to
up.
play second fiddle. He ain't
Facts.
coming here to be nobody backup.
Well,
You know
see,
what I mean?
Exactly.
Tony has a good point where all our points are coming aligned and they're lining up. You don't have to worry
hmm
about going to get somebody. Tony has been saying it since we found out. You got first on waivers for the first 4 weeks of the season until week 4. The only thing that you have to figure out is the money when you go get that particular
hmm
person. Because you can claim somebody, but then when that money comes into play, that's when Brent Tillis, I call him Megamind because it seemed like his head's so big that mind's going to have to do the math for it, how you're going to bring this particular person in and go
Uh,
from there. So for me, like I said, I'm again, it's too early to call. really you haven't really had any really significant injuries going into the season or going into training camp right now. I mean, the only one that you can really say is Tommy Tremble going down. What was that? Was it a hammy for Tommy that they said or
I
Yeah, I think he said he
yeah
felt a twinge in his ham, in
but
his
other than
hamstring.
that, you
yeah
really haven't had any major injuries. And it
yeah.
could be that you need to build this roster up, but I just realized who's in this picture. And I laughed about it. Jamie Robinson needs to be cut. I'm a,
Ah, bruh, he very well could be a candidate.
he
He
needs to be
very
cut.
well could be a candidate.
Look, Tony. Y'all
CJ,
remember what I
didn't
told
I
y'all?
mention that? Didn't I
You
mention that
sure
earlier when
did.
we talked?
You remember I
You sure
told y'all
did.
when he was working on the side of the highway, y'all thought I was joking.
Damn,
You're working
Doug.
on the side of the highway in Florida
Uh-huh.
doing hill
God.
drills.
Oh wow.
I just
Hey.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna because I would just say that you got trucked by Blackshear, but you didn't get trucked not once. But if I'm not mistaken, you got trucked twice on Tuesday. That I
He if okay, yeah, okay. We were in the stands and we were thinking that was DiCaprio Boodle. If that was Robinson, he
that was
got he
Robinson.
yo, let me tell you, I forgot my man name. He was sitting next to Daniel and he was like, damn, he said, boy, they buried him in the dirt 2 plays in a row. Only thing missing is damn tombstone. Boy,
Like I
I
said,
almost
two
fell out the
plays
damn
in a
bleacher.
row. 2 plays in a row.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So he's definitely a candidate. You know, I hate it for him. You know, because especially after he made that whole, they ain't 100 or however many more players better than me in this draft, and this is what we've seen out of him for a year and look some change now. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. But now I will say this. Now, since I have been at camp, I will say this. Everybody on this screen here, I think has gotten a equal helping of getting torched. Okay, I think every last one of these jokers on this screen has got their lunch handed to them at least once, and that includes J.C. Horn. That includes J.C. I don't know what the hell y'all laughing at, but it must be a good one. Hold on, he said we at the point we checking for change in the couch, car seats, and bed stand in order
Hold
to
on.
sign someone with incentives. Lord have mercy. But yeah, hey, let me tell you, everybody on this picture right here has been burnt at least once. But I will say this too: everybody on this picture has also made a really good play too. Shao Smith, Wade, Jackson, both Jacksons. J.C. Horn has made a few good plays. You know, and well, let me see. Maybe not Jamie Robinson that I know of. Okay, you know, it maybe not him, but you know, I'm hoping it's one that I missed. You know, but like I
I,
said, it's
I,
it's been some really good route running.
You
Been
gotta
some
wipe
really
that
good
sweat
route
off
running
the
by a
forehead.
receiver.
You gotta wipe that sweat off the forehead.
Good
hey, I just
lord,
want to
boy.
say for the record, Doug ain't shit. That's all I want to say.
Okay, I had
That's
to holler
all I
at y'all
want to
after. I
say.
feel like I missed something here. Oh my
Oh
goodness,
God.
y'all are funny. Yeah.
Oh
Let
God.
me see. C3D scares our safeties don't scare anyone. You
Well,
know what?
Jordan Fuller. Now hold
Jo-
on. So you
yeah,
got cement
yeah.
hands. You got cement hands, but he's not bad. But Jordan Fuller was not bad at the Rams. Jordan
No,
Fuller
he
was
wasn't.
not
Yeah.
bad. So
I
Mm-mm.
who
think
else
he
right
had
now?
like 3 or 4
Hey,
interceptions last year.
is that Mr. Pickle?
No,
No,
that's Deezy.
that's D skills.
Okay, D
Pickle in
Skills.
here too,
I
though.
was
Pickle was in here too.
okay. I thought because I saw C3. I'm telling you, do not be surprised about Jordan Fuller. Do not be surprised.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will say that was a good thing about Xavier, he was good in run support as well. But one thing that we said, if he gets on the jug machines and it helps him, out of 6 of those PBUs, he will get maybe what? I think he had 3 interceptions this past year. Add 3 more, that's 6 for a
2 or
safety.
3.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 interceptions for a safety is not bad. Like I said,
Yeah.
I mean, he
What
was there. He was there, but he just couldn't catch the ball.
that first year he signed with us, I guarantee you, That I almost said the wrong word.
I
That
know,
joker
I know,
dropped.
I know,
Hey,
I know, I know.
I almost said the wrong word just now. Lord forgive me.
We were
Oh,
about to have to end the live. We
I,
was about to end the
I
live.
almost had to cut it short. I almost said the wrong
Oh
thing.
my God.
Yo, that joker dropped
Yeah,
about at least 8 or 9 interceptions that
that's a
first
fact.
year that he was with us. And
That's
that's
a
when I
fact.
nicknamed him cinder block hands. That's
I
what I
said
called him.
cement.
I
It's the
called him
same
cinder
thing.
block. Yeah, I called him cinder block hand. Now, mind you, this past season, he redeemed himself a little bit. He had a few interceptions. I think it was like 2 or 3. It might have been 3.
Yeah.
But he did pick off a couple. But that first year, he had some. They hit him in the stomach. He right there in the hands. Dropped every last one of them. But
Yeah.
I do like Xavier Woods, and like you say, he is pretty decent in run support. We'll see what Jordan Fuller has. But like we were saying, we talking about Justin Simmons. Yeah, if they can find a way to get him here, that's going to be interesting. Because like I said, I don't think he's coming here to play backup to anybody. So
That
Mhm.
that's
yeah,
the thing, because like we said with Jamie Chin last year, we seen how much, well, how little that we
hmm
use Jeremy Chin being a hybrid safety slash linebacker. So when you think of Justin Simmons, I don't think he's as big as Jeremy Chin, but you're talking about someone that has the ball skills, the height, the size to play a natural free safety position. And you have to remember too, he flourished under Evero in Denver. But again, if you bring in Justin Simmons, like I'm cool with having that kind of problem. But
hmm
who currently we have as safety, especially in the starting rotation, who do you take out? Do you take out Xavier Woods? I mean, because honestly, Xavier Woods would be the odd man out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know he
yeah,
played with Evero last year, but Jordan Fuller played with Evero for a couple years
True.
in LA,
LA.
and they had Justin Simmons
Yeah,
in Denver. So I'm not saying it's a popularity contest or anything like that. But if the reports are true that we're talking about bringing in Justin Simmons, like one of those guys either going to be a backup or going to be cut. I don't think you gonna have the potential 3 starting safeties and one sitting on the bench. I just can't see that happen. One of them guys are going to be replaced.
that's a fact.
gotcha. Gotcha. Hey, but look at Paul's comment down here. He said, I really believe the Panthers are what they are in terms of player acquisition and cap salary moves, and see where the chips lie, as 2024 is really about improvement and clearing out bad contracts. And that's another thing you got to remember too. Now, everybody that they did cut, they were June 1st cuts. So we take
Right.
that cap hit this year, and then we don't have to spread it out over 2 years. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we've cut anybody significantly, since June
We
1st.
ain't doing any
So,
posts.
No, we haven't.
yeah,
We have
yeah. So we got all that dead money that after this season, will be off the books, and then we can start next year, hopefully with more money in the bank. We can go out. We can, hopefully some players that we have good years. Especially Dante Johnson. We can keep him here, but then we can be able to bring some other people in too. But yeah, this $6.1 million that we have right now, I don't see that doing a whole lot for us as far as bringing in, like, game changing talent, or playmakers or whatnot. So we'll see. We'll see. But like the slide says, I do think that it's too early to tell as far as our safety spot. But I'm not sorry, the secondary in general. Okay. It's a
Right.
lot of questions. Can JC Horn stay healthy for a full season? If he can, that's potentially one side of the field locked down. Who is going to be cornerback number 2? One guy that I've been looking for, but I haven't got much footage on, is
Willie.
Virginia State's
Willie
Willie
Drew.
Drew. I've
Willie
been looking to
Drew
see what
Jr.
he's been doing. Yeah, man, it's like he got 2 first names. It's old Willie Drew. But did get his autograph though. Did get his autograph. But
Cool.
But yeah, and I want to see what he does. And you got Deshaun Jameson. There are a lot of people that are pretty high on Deshaun Jameson. You go back to the Vikings game, and the majority of people you speak with say, Justin Jefferson got him that one play, but shit, it's Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean? He would have got 99% of the league, on that exact same play. So hey, it kind of is what it is. But with our secondary right now, I do think it's too early to tell because they need help. Okay, that we need help, and we need a little bit of insurance because I don't want to see Evero in a position where he has to, kind of piecemeal things together just to get by like he did last year. So yeah.
Right.
All
I
right.
agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, hold on a second, fellas. Let me go back to this one here. All right, cool. But yeah, man. Hey, that was the last slide I had, and like I said, this has been the first week of camp. Oh, and I did want to say this too. We give David Tepper hell. I think everybody in general give David Tepper hell. But
About
I will
everything.
say, yeah, about everything, like everything he do. But he's $1 billion man, owner of an NFL franchise. Everything he does is gonna be in the spotlight. But I don't think that man has got enough credit in the organization for what they did for putting training camp together in Charlotte this year.
I gave him
Okay,
that credit in the beginning. Yeah.
yeah. For me, okay, it's a 10-minute drive down Graham Street, Statesville. However I choose to get there, I can go down 77 and hit 277. It don't matter. All right. It's about a 10-minute drive for me. So I do like not having to go down to Spartanburg. But the fan experience is good. If y'all go, the seats are covered. All right. I got there the other day on Monday, made it to my seat, and 5 minutes later, the bottom fell out. It started pouring. It rained for about an hour until practice started, and it finally let up once practice started. But the seats are covered. The day it was hot, everything was nice and cool. They publicized the big cooling trailer that they have over there for the players. They got the same thing behind on the other side, for the fans over on the fan zone, the back
Oh.
near the team store trailer and all that, and the concession stand. And
Oh, okay.
it's been a good experience. Like I said, it's been two downsides: the view, which get used to it, and also, you got to go to the bathroom when you're over there in the general admission side. You got to walk all the way back to the entrance because that's where the porta johns are. Like I said, two things, but I'm willing to give them a pass on both of those. And I tip my hat to you, Mr. Tepper. I say good job to you, the Panthers, everybody that put this together, because I think this was kind of a rush job. Especially with Rock Hill falling through. I think they had already told Spartanburg, "Hey, we're not coming," and then this happened, and then they had to pivot. Hey, I give them credit. I give them credit. Yeah,
Tepper 2 cups out here doing the people's work.
Yeah.
yeah, for real. Mm-hmm.
But hey, you
Oh,
said you wanted to bring that up right there, CJ.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, hey, man, let me tell you, hey, shout out to DJ Moore. Shout out DJ Moore, got his bag. But you know what? And I saw somebody post this on Twitter, and they were like, yo, we really messed up. Okay, it was one thing. We got rid of Christian McCaffrey. I will hate the Panthers forever for doing that. I'm still mad about that shit. I'm still mad about Christian McCaffrey. All right. Then we didn't get the supposed two first round picks for Brian Burns for the Rams. Okay. Then we made the trade to go up and get Bryce Young, and now somebody said, "Don't you wish we would have threw
Right.
Brian Burns in that trade now instead of DJ Moore?" And I saw that, and I sat back in my chair, and I was like, "I'll be damned." I
well,
said, "Yes, I honestly wish Brian Burns had been part of that trade now instead of DJ Moore." Go
but
ahead, Doug.
CJ elaborate on it because we made this point last night, and I said it
Mm-hmm,
on Quan's channel. I'm tired of us fans crying about it. It's not us. It's the GM.
mm-hmm.
2 out of the 5
Yeah.
GMs we've had have either helped this team or the other 3 have depleted this team. Dave Gettleman,
Mm-hmm.
Marty, Marty Herney was hit.
Marty Herney.
Marty Herney in the beginning. In the beginning was great.
Yeah.
At the very end, terrible. Then you get a Scott Fitterer. So
Man, I slapped Marty Herney with a 2x4. I
yeah,
can't
like I
stand
said,
him.
I mean, we really can't be upset about
It's just
Why is
violent.
because it's been the GMs. The GMs have caused heartache and headache for fans. It's not
Mm-hmm.
coaches, it's your GMs that have failed this team. So
Yeah.
Nakar mentioned what I was just getting ready to say. DJ Moore is the first player in NFL
yep,
history to have his first 10 years fully
fully guaranteed.
guaranteed.
That's a fact.
But
Yep. He playing for
the
somebody
whole
else.
the whole thing, because I hear people have said that back and forth. We should have offered Derrick Brown. We should have offered, Brian Burns. The thing is, Chicago wanted DJ Moore. Chicago said in order for the Panthers to move up to number one, this trade to work, we want DJ Moore. So they didn't have an option to throw in Brian Burns or Derrick Brown. It was what Chicago wanted. Chicago
I thought
wanted
they wanted
DJ
either
Moore.
or, Tony. I thought it was
Huh?
either for the
No,
Brian
no,
Burns.
no, no. No, they asked Brian Poles. They asked Brian Poles, and when Brian Poles was talking about it in the interview
Mhm.
after the trade happened, they said we wanted DJ Moore. That
Gotcha.
was the piece. As far as player that we have back in a that we wanted back, it was DJ Moore.
Gotcha.
That's who we wanted to get in that trade. So it is what it is when it comes to that. Um, like CJ said, we have had some GMs that have dropped the ball of late. We talk about Marty Herney, and then bringing in Scott Fitterer, and I've been reluctant to want to agree about players um that we have had and that we drafted and kind of groomed, and then we let go, and then they ball out in other places. When you talk about CMC or when you talk about
Madden
DJ
cover,
Moore, don't know
new
what Brian
contract.
Burns is going to do yet, in New York. But hey, one thing about it is I'm happy for these guys. I'm happy that CMC is having the success that he's having in San Francisco. Congrats to him. Congrats to DJ Moore on getting that big contract. He balling out in Chicago. But my thing is, them guys ain't here no more. So I don't even waste my energy or breath even talking about those guys. You know what I'm saying? They are 49ers and Bears fans problems. They can talk about those
Mm.
guys, to their skin turn blue or whatnot. But um I just hope that with this new regime, with Dan Morgan, Brent Tillis, and Dave Canales, I hope going forward that we take care of the players that we need to take care of. And I think they did. They took a good first step in extending Derek Brown. Okay,
Mm.
so hopefully J.C. Horn can stay healthy this year. Like you said, he's not worried about um his 5th year contract or or extension. He just want to show that he can be available. So if he can go out and show the team that he can be available for 16 or 17 games, and that he
Mm.
can stay healthy, and we already know what he can do when he's healthy, then I think that's another player that Carolina would take care of, or the next player that Carolina take care of and get a big contract. But like we always say, your best ability is your availability.
Hey, I just want to say this. I don't give a damn that they gone or not or whatever. When they brought up, I'm going to express my displeasure for them not being with the team no more. That's just like Eddie P. I'll be mad forever that Eddie P missed them field goals in Atlanta. Okay. I'll still be mad forever with that. So let me tell you, when I hear their names and when they bring it up, y'all just go ahead and call me whatever you want to. I'm going to display my displeasure, and that's just gonna be it. I don't give a damn. CMC didn't want to go nowhere. CMC did not want to go anywhere. He should still be here. They put on that elaborate show, and what's he doing? He gracing Madden covers.
But did
Out
he?
there going to the
I ain't
Super
gonna start. I ain't
Bowl.
gonna start no shit. I ain't gonna start no shit.
Hey, the shit's already. The shit done fell out already. Shit on the ground.
I know. I know. I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing.
I know. But yeah, man. But hey, and Austin, right? He said, CJ, don't go through uptown. There's a sinkhole. Let me tell you. So me and my neighbor left practice yesterday, and it's right there on South Cedar. So, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna hit South Cedar, go over here to Mint Street, hit 277, and go. Nicar, shut up. No, he wasn't.
Yeah. Tell him the truth,
No, he
Nicar. He
wasn't.
don't want to hear it. He don't want to
Shut
hear
up,
it,
Nicar.
Nicar.
No, he wasn't. Hey, but honestly, I was going to head that way and hit 277 and go home. And when we got out there into the parking lot and look, man, they had that joint blocked off, and I saw that gigantic ass sinkhole on the news later on, and I was like, oh. I told my neighbor, I said, I'm glad we did not go that way. And then I think a second one opened up on that same street as well. So they having some issues. I think it was a water main break, but we'll see. You know, I hope that doesn't affect anything, as far, because there's a really nice parking lot right there that I park at, $6.50 all day long. So it's nice and cheap. But yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but fellas, y'all got anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
No, I'm good. Go ahead, Doug. You
Can't
on
hear you,
mute,
Doug.
Doug. You on mute.
My bad, fellas. My bad. I was just gonna say, no, like I said, just ready for preseason. But trust me, two fans of What's Up, Doug got some more good juice for you guys coming here soon. So y'all just stay tuned, man. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of CJ and Tony. Again, CJ has been grinding on this side, but I can't wait till Tony's able to grind on that other side during the season when he goes to Germany. So, like I said, man, we got some special things in the midst. Again, congrats to them for that 400 on X or Twitch, like they like to call it. But like they say,
Yes, sir.
continue to hit that subscribe button over here on the YouTube side. Continue to share the live. Continue to leave comments for them. Engage with them, man. Again, also shout out to all the content creators that have been out there grinding, showing you clips. Again, I can't wait. I only got 2 more weeks and I'll be back home. So I can't wait, man, to get to see my
Gotcha.
team finally. Like I said, I've seen other teams, had high expectations for other teams, but I'm ready to see my team and see what they do. So that's all I got, man.
Okay.
I'm for CJ. I'm just gonna go back over here to our group chat. Go ahead, CJ.
Okay, all right. Hey, now I know what y'all talking about. Mr. Hunky Dory said, when the next show, don't leave us hanging. Said we night workers plan on working time so we can engage and watch. Let me see. Our next show, it'll probably be sometime this weekend. I know they have 2 practices on. Hey, man, y'all shut up. But I know we had 2 practices on Saturday and Sunday. So we'll probably go live one day this weekend. It might be Saturday, it might be Sunday. So we'll see, but we'll try and let you know in plenty of time. Okay. Oh, and speaking of Doug, and I'm glad you said something about all the content creators. So speaking of all the other content creators that's out there, if anybody's watching, I got what I think is a hell of an idea. Okay. I wanted to get the Panthers content creators together and see if y'all want to do a fantasy football league. Okay. So we try to get a 12-team league. If we can make 12 teams, it'll be 1 team per, podcast, slash, Panthers
Yeah.
creator entity. Okay. If we can't get to 12 teams, like me and Tony, we can have a team apiece. Or somebody like like PNP or Panthers on Tap. They got C3.
Yeah.
Shit, C3 could field 47 football leagues by themselves.
Correct.
They got people everywhere. But if y'all if y'all interested, I'm gonna put a post on Twitter. I'm gonna tag a lot of people. See if y'all want to join. Hey, let me know. If we can have enough, we can do a couple leagues. And also let me know if y'all want to put some skin in the game. That's great. We can do something. Or if you want to do it for just bragging rights, I'm completely fine with that as well. But I was thinking about that earlier. I thought it was a good idea. So y'all let me know. All right. And we appreciate you. But again, before we get out of here, thank you to everybody that's watched us on YouTube. Thank you for everybody that's watching us on X. Before you leave out of here, hit the subscribe button, follow us, hit the like button, share this, let everybody know, tell them to come check us out. Then we had a great show tonight. We appreciate everybody sticking with us and watching. Thank you to Doug for joining us as usual. Thank you to my big-headed cousin co-host over there, Uncle Bernie, aka
Hey man,
Tony.
hey, I'm just working on this new thumbnail.
I see. I see. All right, y'all. Hey, look, as always, I like to take y'all out with 3 things, okay? Number 1, y'all be good. Number 2, y'all be safe. And number 3, as always, keep pounding, man. We'll see you.